Yeah, you're Leo. I mean, there it is. I haven't seen him in 35 years. Last time I saw him, was down the Freeman stage. You're with your sister,
Yeah.
Mark, you, me. Who else was there? Kathy. We were there. I think it was the Tedeschi Trucks Band, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah. So that's the last time I saw him.
Mm-hmm.
And now I open up a door at the Grand to go to the restroom, and boom, I knock him over, and there's somebody I knew. Where does that happen? Is that happening in California? I don't think so.
So many people.
But the thing of it is we had Little Italy, we had Cleveland Heights, Canby Park West.
Yeah.
I mean, when you went to Canby Park West, I mean, you really thought you went somewhere.
Yeah.
I said it was only across the railroad tracks.
And across the creek.
Across the creek. Oh, Indian Rock.
Indian Rock.
Indian Rock Creek. We're not being derogatory, but that's what it was called. The creek was named Indian Rock. And there was a old buffalo nickel with the Indian head.
And how many arrowheads were found in that area?
Oh,
we
man.
found a ton of arrowheads.
Tons. But, and then we used to go down to the Lions cage. We caught it, but it actually was some big
it was a sewer drain
for stormwater where it goes all the way starting actually from Canby Park. That was the stream. That was the groundwater fall out that system, and then believe it or not, it connected other storm drains, and then it flew to the creek out to the river.
It was large.
It was huge.
Yeah,
And
it was like a lion's cage.
It was like a lion cage, and somebody bent them bars, huge bars, and we would go up in there. I know some people that went up to the intersection of the pipes. Now, we didn't go that. We weren't that nuts.
So you weren't that brave?
I would not do that, but I know a couple of people that did that. Did you do that?
Down in Alvin Park.
Park.
We went down to the park at the bottom of the hill, right by the railroad tracks. Right.
Okay.
And
West Yard.
Yep. Right. And we would hit that sewer pipe, the outlet, and we would crawl all the way up to past Homestead, up to Coleman, underground.
Whoa, boy! Hey, man,
that's why we came back. We would exit, and we had all kinds of black leeches on us.
Oh, yeah.
It was like,
I know.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah, we were in a sewer, bro.
Water,
water, sewage.
We weren't cave. We weren't cave walking. We were sewer walking. And that was kind of
that's
stuff.
The kind of crap we did when we were kids.
Stuff we did. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's just beyond belief, man.
We weren't hunting or fishing. We were sewer climbing.
Well, we did. Well, I didn't hunt, but I fished a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, luckily, I did not. No,
luckily, my first sister's husband, father-in-law, had a farm, and they took me out. We used to go fishing, all bass fishing. Oh my God, that was really cool. Did a lot of bass fishing in that farm. It was great to have connection with farms. We had my dad's friend on the railroad. He had a farm in Delmar, Delaware. I spent a few summers down there. And Bentley's farm, we spent a couple summer camps there. Mr. and Mrs. Bentley were very nice with the Scouts, Troop 285. Good old salute to John Boyer, Mike Boyer. Dude, there's one great Scoutmaster, assistant Scoutmaster. Shout out to the Boyers.
Oh, absolutely. They were great.
Good.
So, folks, you're listening to 302, the Smash Brothers here on the 302. You can check out, we are recording live on YouTube, and we will have this up on a podcast as well. So thanks for joining us on Super Sunday here, Super Bowl Sunday, got to be correct, or I'm sure the legal Eagles will be, Super Bowl is actually a registered copyrighted name now. That's why you can't, I don't even, the big game. Remember the tagline, the big game? I don't even know if we can use anybody can use that,
I don't know. I just don't want to send no trouble to the Smash Brothers SmashCast. No, we don't need those. We'll call it whatever we want to call it. We'll rename it.
There's a football game going on at 6:30 tonight or something like
that. Hey, SB, what I was thinking about the Super Bowls and everything. So I got a little trivia question for everybody out there, and for USB one as well. The first Super Bowl out there in the Coliseum in the beautiful then state of California, how much was the average general admission ticket? The average.
$10.50.
You're right in, because the average was $8 to $12. So you're in
There you go.
SB1. That's why you're a businessman. That's why you bring your cars to Buckley Auto Care. They'll figure everything out.
I guess we throw some sponsorship. You need home improvements. You need anything like that with a home construction. Go AC Capital right there.
Mikey, no, baby.
Mikey, no.
God bless you out there,
Mikey,
man.
no doesn't say no. He says, Mikey, yes. And he can build you a house. He can do a lot.
He
does
can.
some great painting for me personally at the house, and my parents' house. Did some really good stuff there. And he
that was huge, man. That was his first. That's what's so great about our brotherhood. I mean, that was his first big contract. Was Mr. and Mrs. Buckley's, rest in peace, home. Beautiful home, and we cherish that. We cherish that one.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Absolutely, man.
And did a great job at my house personally.
Oh yeah,
took care, we redid all that. Yeah,
and then we're going to do Buckley's Auto Care.
Yeah, they're doing it in the spring.
Yes. And then we'll get downstate and tighten a few things up there too. We could do that. I'd like to see some partner up down there with some friends we have. I ain't gonna mention any family. The Sundu family, a great Nardo family. How are they the best?
Yeah, they are.
God bless the Nardos, all the Nardos, Newcastle County, Sussex County. We saw Nikki and Sue Monday night. That was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, saw them yesterday too.
Saw them yesterday at the services. Very, very. They're, between. I'll tell you something right now. Between Ray and Brenda, the king and queen of the Heights, as I nicknamed them, you have Nikki and Sue. I think that's nowadays, what it goes on, I think they're the two longest relationships that I know of. Nikki and Sue been together high school forever, man.
Yeah.
Great, yeah. So good people out there. See, we had good people in our lives. We had great people, good people, because we were in good environments. You guys get this message out there. Be in a good environment, and you become a good person in your environment. You have a bad environment. Hey, guess what Greg Hallman used to say? You lay down with dogs, you're going to wake up with fleas.
That's right.
And you get with a snake, it's going to bite you. So guess what?
We all know about
get away from all that. Elevate yourself. Elevate. You two had a song about that, didn't they?
Elevation.
Yeah.
Elevation. Yeah. That's what it was. Elevation.
Did we see you two together?
No, I saw that. That was Patty and I's first date. Down in Washington at the Landover.
Get out.
It was. Yeah, I picked her up. That was a hell of a story.
Go ahead. We got time. We usually talk 3 hours on Super Bowl Sunday.
It was our first date. I want to say that was April 9th of 1985. And it was the War album, I think, from U2. And at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, Charlie Malaysia and at the time his wife Michelle were living in DC.
Yes.
So I get tickets, right? And Patty she likes music, but it's got to be radio friendly. Just listen to the radio. She doesn't really know a lot of artists and stuff like that. And at the time it was just pop music. It was just whatever's on the radio. And so I go, well, we're going to go to U2. I got tickets, I'll pick you up. And at the time we were renting those motorhomes. So I pick her up and
private charters.
Private charter.
Oh God.
So,
my God, on in private charters.
I don't even think I didn't even meet Mrs. or Mr. McGonigal at the time,
right?
Betty and Chunker. I didn't. It was it was literally our first date. So I come by in this van, the big vans that we had rented, right?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
So Mrs. Betty McGonigal goes, "Oh my God, he's got a cat wagon." So, Patty's looking at me like, "What's going to happen here in this van?" Right? The mom's worried, and I'm saying we're okay.
Well, you traveled in style, brother. Going down 95 in private charters.
That's right. Took it all down there, and so all along, Patty, when you're getting together, first thing is, you got to be like, I guess you try to be on your A game all the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Patty, we're driving down there, and she wouldn't tell me that she had to go to the bathroom, right?
Right.
So we get out we make it all the way down, and you're talking like 2.5 hours to get to Landover.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Sure.
So,
and that's not an easy ride either. In those days.
No, it's not. And the Landover Center, the Capitol Center, was like pretty crappy. It was way out there in Landover. So, but we had to stop at Charlie's first, right? So we pull into Charlie's. We open the door, and Patty doesn't even introduce herself. She goes, "I need a bathroom." And she ran right to the bathroom without introducing. And then it was like a big relief. And then, coming back, it was
the women feel the same things we do.
Yeah, yeah. That was our first. She'll never let me forget it. And then we're at the concert, and of course, everybody stands because U2 was really super new and hot, and so everybody stood,
right?
Because it's like more like a concert filled with anthem music in a sense. So everybody's up, and Patty's like, "I'm not enjoying this." Because she's sitting down,
I can picture her.
Exactly.
I can see it.
You know what I mean, brother. You know what I mean.
I can see it.
Yeah. And so she was being nice because it's like I said, it was our first date.
Right.
And it was hilarious. And I got back. We got back finally, and nothing happened in the van. Let's put it that way. Not that one, right? But she got back and she's courtesy. Hey, good. Thank you. And we never went in that van again to another concert.
Did you go to another concert?
Oh yeah. You know what I did?
Did you take her to see Springsteen? I think.
I think we did. Maybe we saw Springsteen, but I took her to Squeeze.
Squeeze.
Who the hell are they? These were bands that I liked to go see. It was at the Tower. I took her to the Tower.
I never even heard of Squeeze.
Squeeze? Oh yeah, geez, man. Part of the English pop groups that came over.
You're all educated in that.
Elvis, it was Elvis Costello.
Oh yeah, you were into that side. Yep, I know where you're at. Yep, I know exactly where you're at.
And I was playing some Paul Carrick. Paul Carrick is the one of the lead singers that was part of he had a couple of Black Coffee in Bed, Tempted. Remember those tunes? No,
bro. My savviness in this music world is nowhere comparison to yours, bro. Southern rock and roll, that and little British.
You got that hands down. I know you do.
Yeah. And you got the other world, the other genres all over. That's why you got a radio station. I believe you're a DJ on.
I try to be.
302 radio.
302 Soup Radio.
Soup Radio, and you're playing music, and you got your own broadcasting because you're well-rounded. You know what to do in this business. You and Franny Simeon. Let me just carry your briefcases when you make it to the top. I'll be like Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, I hear you.
Coming with a few jokes. I bet he's doing pretty good. God bless him. I like old Jimmy, man. He's a cool dude.
He's a good guy.
He is, man.
Yeah,
and I know that good. He got all his humorous stories and everything, driving a cab around New York City. Is that a beautiful thing?
Yeah. Hey, you know what I told a story on this morning on Easy Sunday Morning?
About making you know?
Oh no, yeah, that's a given. That's a given. Because I was talking with Dan, the bass player from Gabe Dixon.
Yes.
Okay. So I always like to ask. I said, who inspires you to play bass? And name me some of your famous or your favorite bass players, right? And we talked. It was Chris Squire.
Okay, I seen Yes in Indianapolis. Right. Lucas, whatever they were calling that.
I think I saw him in Philly a couple of times. They came through, but
we saw Yes in Philly.
Yeah.
You and I went. Yeah, first time I saw him, that was in Indianapolis.
I think it was during the Fragile album. Roundabout. All Good People, all those. So I kind of did like a homage to the groups that
we saw them. Sorry, we saw them in Atlantic City. Yes.
Was it Atlantic City?
It was Atlantic City. Yeah, yes, it was. We drove down Atlantic City. Oh my God. I know we saw the Police there and we saw the Yes there.
It could have been. Okay. All right.
At the convention center.
Yes,
we did.
All right. I played a couple of tunes because we were talking. That's our bass player, Chris Squire.
Right.
Well, my connection to Chris Squire came through John Lally.
With the cab?
From
London.
And
look, they're getting cabs imported from, and last name's Buckley, right? Come on, man. Getting cabs in from London with the Beatles sat. I remember all that.
Okay, but, a couple of times.
He was a cool dude.
He was, he was great.
He was an awesome guy.
And he was our DD in that cab as we had a couple of nights out where he took us out in that cab. Remember, he took us in the 57 Fairlane.
See, those 2 trips at that time, I think I was heavily involved with a couple other things.
You could have been.
And Leonard, you had Leonard with you.
Joe Ryan.
I know Leonard and Joe Ryan still talk about that.
Oh,
especially Leonard. I don't see Joe that much, but Leonard remembers that. He thought he was a movie star.
Yeah. Well,
I never experienced that. I was in that cab. I was in the cab, but I never went on a trip in the cab.
Okay. Well, John and I, I'll finish up with Chris Squire,
right?
Because John was good friends with Chris's father, Pete.
Okay.
Pete would call over at the house, Mary Wilmington, right?
On Coleman Street.
No, and we were here in Ray Street.
Oh, Ray Street. Oh, you're
Dad
still
just
there?
Moved. Yeah, Dad just moved.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
I'm telling you, yeah. And so Pete would call and talk to John, because John would stay for 2 or 3 weeks, right? And he called in and we'd talk and I'd always hear, well, how are the boys doing? And well, the boys were the group yes. And at the time, they weren't as big as when we had saw him when he caught fire, And so he would say, oh, well, Chris is doing this. He's playing here and all that other stuff.
Wow.
And I go, well, pretty cool, So, and John would get into it with him. And John and I always had a kind of a grinding. We weren't really, I don't know. We were friendly. We knew it, but he did things that were just goofy, and it would get me pissed off every once in a while. You know what I mean? Just the way that he was. And one time I got so angry at him. I'm like, I'll tell the audience, it was a series of things that he did. Like, he would come up and help Dad at the shop. Right. So Dad would give him $20 to take tires, go dump tires in the dump. Well, John would find an open spot and put the tires there. And that had to be in a dump. And I took him and I go, what the are you doing? I go, they have to go into a dump. Well, and John, being ignorant to anything else, right? He goes, well, that's a dump, isn't it? Did I dump them? And, I mean, this is, and John, the experiences that I had with John, one, him and I would go to New York.
I remember that.
To pick up his cabs.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was an adventure in itself, because him and I we were either argue, and he had to be in his 40s or 50s. I guess I'm 18 or 19, 20 years old.
I think my first experience of hearing about Jack was, I think I was 15.
Okay.
16.
Could be.
Because he came over.
Right.
That I know of. And that's why I was saying that I fell off I was out in other worlds then. And you guys, and that's when you guys were tight. And then I would hear the stories in school.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
High school.
High school.
Yeah. Right. So you're right. So your dad and mom he was definitely older than your dad and mom.
Yes, he was.
Absolutely. So I'd put him in 45, 50.
I was going to say we had to be 25 years apart or something like that, I guess, because
mid late 40s.
He was. 40s. I cherish the memories with rolling around with him for a couple of times, because we went to pick up a cab one time, and we're going through Jersey, and we're coming up on LaGuardia, where the ports were, right where he had picked the car. I'm sure it was LaGuardia, and I clearly remember this is at nighttime. And we're running through the airport going underground, and we see this plane come across the roadway, right? You know, because the cars go underground, whatever. Anyway, it was an optical illusion.
And it looked like you were getting smashed.
We were like, we're going to run right into the belly of the plane.
Just like we saw that with the going down to
Virginia.
Williamsburg for a golf trip.
The ship was coming across and we're going right under.
The tunnel was wild looking.
It freaked me out.
I bet it did.
It freaked me out.
Especially being young.
Yeah. And I couldn't tell if John was high or not, but we kept going in that English cab and we're just keep on cruising. And then a couple of times John was always into different religions, trying to always find himself in, and he had got into Guru Maharaji, whatever that was anyway. And he would
right, whatever that is.
He'd come up to Philadelphia.
You might as well say "Run Through the Jungle," bro.
Right,
I don't
exactly.
know.
Anyway, I'm telling you all this
That's
stuff.
a great song, by the way.
It
"Run
was
Through the Jungle," and that's what I was meaning out there. I don't want any problem.
No,
I
think
Trump got.
I think Trump got himself in a little bit of trouble on that one. But
well,
so
he took it back.
He took it back, yeah.
And it was an A that did it. He had nothing to do with it. Like I said, he sees so much stuff. How are you going to see everything?
That's true.
It was a mistake.
True. So John says, "Why don't you come up with me?" I go, "Oh, what the hell? I'll see what this guy's up to." So I go to this religious happening. I don't even recall it. It was in Philadelphia. I can't remember. And all these people were bringing gifts, bringing up stuff. And they're like, yeah, it was like trippy shit. And I'm like,
dude, you've been exposed to a lot of things in this world.
I tell you, man,
Sinners.
I got stories of what
Man, I thought I had a few. I'm talking about fishing on a farm on a Sunday morning. You're going to some religion that you don't even know about, and they're doing trippy things. That could have been pretty intriguing if I was there. I don't know.
Oh, it would have been. Oh my God, it would have been incredible.
I might not want any more fishing trips.
But this is the kind of stuff.
Oh my God!
This is the kind of stuff that he brought, and,
right,
and we're so far away from Chris Squire right now.
Well, that's all right. If we get out on a tangent, we're getting out on a jam. We're getting out on a wild riff.
Yeah, but that's
with words.
But that's where Lally. And we would call him Lally.
Lally.
Yeah. And then he was.
Leonard loved him, man. Leonard, I still remember Leonard's face lighting up, talking about him riding in the back of that cab, man.
Back of the cab, and then
I think he sat where Ringo Starr did.
Because John always picked up the stars, and
he had Ringo. He had the Beatles back then. When he had the Beatles.
I mean, the dude had some history. He was legit.
Phenomenal. I was in his company. Wasn't he on a boat too?
Yes.
I remember. I was, because I think I was on your guys' yacht maybe 3-4 times. 2 with the guys when you invited all of us, and 2 with the family. Right. And I remember Lally being on one of those trips. I do recall that. Yes.
Yeah, he was there.
Yes. He was. I thought he was a cool dude. I thought he was a cool guy.
Oh, he really was. Yeah, I mean, I wish. My thing was, I wish he.
Well, you got to know him. I mean, I probably wouldn't like him either. But I was around him, he came over shots and.
Well,
cruises.
His true family friends were the Ogdens, where he just couldn't stay with the Ogdens. It was Bobby.
Oh, is that the connection?
Yeah, and Bobby Ogden and his brother Tommy. And Tommy's wife, Diane, was from England. And that's where that connection came through.
No kidding.
Yeah. And then
see the history you learn? Wow.
Right. I mean, that's the family that's there.
So that's how the Buckley family got involved, as being the host.
Well, my mom was cousins. Friends?
Oh.
Well, she was cousins to the Campbells over here by the library on Kirkwood Highway. They were related. That was my mom's cousin. And due to this, well, whatever, it's my mom's cousin. Barbara was married to Bob Ogden at one time. So we were all family related. And then Bobby got divorced from Barbara, but Vicky, Ricky, Bobby, that's their name, the kids, were all cousins. Well, we hung out together. And then Bobby's second wife, Mary Lou. Right. She always treated me very nicely. Oh, Mary Lou's she's a saint.
Yeah.
She's a saint.
Oh, yes.
But Bobby and Tommy, Bobby was working with Dad, raced with Dad. Tommy was kind of like in the mix. So we were all together, right?
Gotcha.
And then so John would come over. And then do you remember Jane that came from England, which was Diane's sister?
Jane, that name sounds familiar.
They worked the station. They were very, very, very attractive young women.
I gotta remember them then.
And they used to do. Dad would hire them to work the pumps.
Smart. But see, he's unbelievable. He's ahead of his time.
And he had them. They wore like
We got any pictures of this?
We do.
All right. I got to get my memory back. You got to have intel and pictures, and I got to get my memory back.
Well, this is all the stuff that happened at the shop, and so Dad.
Of course, in those days, I wasn't around too much.
Well, they came to do events at the shop, and we would have 4th of July specials or whatever the case might be. We were doing a fundraiser for the fire hall.
Damn.
And Jane and I wish I could remember the other young woman's name. They're both very, very beautiful women. Dad had them in like a tiara and a sash that like they were pageant winners.
Oh, they probably would have been. I got to see these pictures because I got to know. I got to recall this.
Well, I think there wasn't a lack of volunteer guys from the fire hall working those islands.
And boots were everywhere, baby. Put it in the boot.
That were the things that kind of happened. But it all goes back. See how we start a story? It starts off with music at the Room in Lewis and then comes up all the way. I'm in England and bringing
it back and memories that I can't remember and this and that. But I do recall those times. I mean, we had phenomenal experiences and times at our age level that like I said, it just was an amazing time. What I try to do is my nephew Vincent started a nice family chain.
Yeah.
And maybe twice, 3 times a week, I like to put some family history on there for my nieces and nephews and their children, my great nieces and nephews. So, you know what I mean? So they have something with, they could see pictures when they were small and with, an older uncle at 16, 17 did with them. And I cherish those memories to this day. You know what I mean? We were always engaging, always, no matter what group. It could have been somebody from England or our nieces and nephews or whatever, SB1. We always did things, bro. And I think back a lot. You get to thinking about when something hits you that hard, like passing to Mikey, you get thinking about a lot of things.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah. So, you go back with so many different stories, so many influential people, just like you said, when we sat down before we went on air, is that what we were exposed to and things like that, having older, folks in the neighborhood. And then you being, coming in Cleveland Heights, as a part of St. Elizabeth, us being friends and meeting people. And then us being down your house on Coleman Street, meeting your friends and, the Italians, met them. Well, of course, the Colemans lived there. We went to school with them. Mm-hmm. A few other folks I probably oh man, they're just great people and having a lot of fun. And then no doubt the parties at the Buckleys. Oh my God. You want to talk about an institution and in a time of some great error. Oh my God. Right on. We talked about them, but I don't know if we might have talked about how the Buckley's basement was, but we ever talk about the real parties?
I don't think we can. There's too many guilty. We got to protect too many innocents.
But it was amazing, man. I still will never forget that time I listened to Heart of Gold when you guys, because I love Neil Young. And matter of fact, he canceled all his shows for 26. I don't know what's going on with Neil. I wish him the best of luck or health or whatever's going on. But I just read that he did cancel all his shows in 26. Yeah. So, but his music, early music, that album Harvest was amazing. And Heart of Gold, boy, we're listening to that song with those acoustics and everything, with the carpet on the walls. It was the best. It was before you went into a listening booth to listen to your music, or your expensive sound system that you were going to buy. We had that. Yeah. We had that as teenagers. People go in a room to listen to all that and then go buy $1 million system, or I'm exaggerating. We had a system and sound acoustics that you could just sit there. And we did. And we listened to music.
Oh, yeah, we did.
I mean, we didn't have to be partying, whatever. I remember hours and hours and hours in your basement listening to music.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
a little vodka in between. Replacement water. Ooh. That was found once or twice. Yeah, the old vodka and water trick.
Oh, easy. Or the gin, but.
Oh, yeah. Well, Tanqueray was the first time I had it at your house. And that was my summer drink for Jesus. Yeah. Jack and Coke replaced that, but it's Tanqueray and tonics. I think I drank that all the way to
TNTs and those Ghiblis too. And there was another one that had an Amorosa too.
Amorosa.
he had some kind of really kind of liqueur. Remember the big bottle, real tall bottle that he had? And he had bottles of Mateus.
Oh, yeah, the Mateus.
The Mateus
wine.
Yeah,
from Portugal, isn't it?
Yeah, from Portugal.
Yeah, old Mateus bottle. Yeah.
You got juiced on Mateus.
I remember that was excellent chilled.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he have a little refrigerator underneath?
He had everything.
He had I remember the little refrigerator. It was a nice corner bar.
Mm-hmm.
And
he had a corner bar. And he had the spirits on one shelf. He had and then we brought the kegs.
Oh, kegs.
We had the glasses, everything was there.
Oh, dude, the keg parties.
I always just tell people that, at the time, amazing. every other bar in Wilmington was jealous of the crowds and the parties that we had, So
well, that was amazing. And then that's the time when you would party hard, and then we had after hour clubs downtown. Can you believe that? We actually had clubs we could go to when the bars closed down. There was one down there on Orange Street. I can't remember that. And then we had the Brandywine Club right there on Route 1.
Brandywine Club.
Oh my God, how great was that in our lives? I mean, how great was that? Yeah. To have the Brandywine Club. How many? I saw John Prime there like 3 times. Johnny Prime loved playing there.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, John Prime.
John Prime. Oh my God.
Elvis Costello. We saw.
I did go to see that with you.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And we had in the Tally Ho.
Oh,
where we saw
Outlaws.
We saw Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah, I missed that show. I did not get. I went to the Outlaws. I think the Outlaws played there twice.
They probably did.
And that's when they had fill in Steve Kelly. And he was from my area, the Poconos, in Wilkes-Barre, a little closer between Wilkes-Barre and where I'm at in Thornhurst, where we're at in Thornhurst. And when he got off the road and everything, he found a partner, Andy Farrad, and they did acoustic set, Kelly and Farrad, and Mark Farrad. And then Mark had his electric band. Steve just stayed all acoustics and everything. And Al Malaysia and I would go up there, little Italian restaurant, Mendocino's. And I'm going back.
Remember that one.
Oh no, I'm going back. I never took you there when we were up there.
Okay.
I'm going back maybe 30 years because you got to remember. Well, not maybe 30 years because I had a place 33 years, and maybe 28 years ago, Al went up there with me 3 or 4 times, and then we would end up in Mendocino because it was a pizza place, Pasta and Pizza. And then on Sunday night, they had that show. Now, there's still, the owners naturally remember them, but there's only one worker up there because I've since got reacquainted with the place. I love Mendocino pizza up there in Daleville, Pennsylvania. Old Daleville, right next to Moscow. Hey, I'll tell you, they named it Moscow. You do anything in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Moscow. There you got a Moscow, Pennsylvania, bro. Some people say Moosic, but there's 2 places.
Moosic.
There's Moosic and Moscow.
There's Newark and Newark.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's right, Newark. I said no. I was referring to Newark, New Jersey, like that. Somebody said it's Newark. I said no. There's Newark, Delaware, and Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah,
that keeps us the difference between them highways.
Well, folks, this is
none of that up here.
The 302 radio, the radio station 302, and you're listening to the Smash Brothers here.
We'll tell it straight here. We'll tell it straight.
Sunday, we'll have conversations.
We talked football.
We haven't done football at all. No, we're just getting everything out.
We talk football. Man.
Not a bit.
We might need 4 hours on this SmashCast SB1. We haven't talked football. We haven't talked anything. We haven't talked about our last trip. What we got planned coming up here in Port Chester, New York.
We got the Toy Factory.
The Toy Factory project.
Yeah,
man. I'm real excited about that venture.
Yeah, I'm going to look forward to it.
It's going to be a very nice, 24-hour road trip. It's going to be a very nice 24-hour road trip. Why? I don't know. You want to turn it into 36?
I'm scared.
You want to turn it into 36?
No.
I don't care. I don't think we play any golf up there. We got those Spurs around here. What the hell they got up there?
It might be a case where 66 turns into 36.
Oh. We'll see.
Yeah, we're just going to see some good shows.
You are in training for this show.
I don't know, brother. I don't know, man.
Sports fan, my brother over here is in training, put down the bourbon a little bit, this and that a little bit, so he can break loose for that 36 hours. And just in case you're wondering why I'm wearing these sunglasses, well, we're in here, it's so bright, I feel like I'm in Hawaii, but it's okay.
It's got the LEDs right above us.
I like it, but my eyes are light sensitive, so I wear a lot of sunglasses. All right, so I just want to put that disclosure.
We're in the room that's going to be retro. You're not in Pluto. No.
Later on today, during the game, let's go. You in any Super Bowl pools?
None.
I got into one. So I got into one.
Who are you taking?
Well, in the polls, you go by last numbers.
Well, yeah, I know that.
I'm sorry, in the black polls. Right. I am rooting for Seattle because Sam Darnold's story is a great story, and I just don't know who trades a quarterback that wins all those football games.
Stupid organization that just had their head up their ass.
I don't know, and to pave a way for an unknown, I could understand if you were bringing some superstar in.
Well, they fired the GM.
Well, he should have. He should be fired for football
for not keeping the contract, especially what Sam's doing now. I can't help to. I normally do NFC teams. Big guy with that, but I like the Vrabel story better.
Oh well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. You're absolutely right, and I'm glad he got Coach of the Year. He's a great guy. People always have respect for him. I read some stories this morning about him. Well, back in high school days, what his classmates said with him, and he's always been a straight guy, up forward dude, and uplifting man. That's the kind of guy when he gets out of coaching and football that and once again, you could do something good for society. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You could get it because his personality upbeat and stuff like that. So you transition that from calling football plays into talking about life. People might listen to a guy like that. When you're a leader, that's what I'm saying. So you could do some great things out there in society. Everybody wants to get into these booths and talk football and the sport.
Talking head.
Like a guy like that, a coach like that, a person like that, he would be a large voice for good living and how to do things right. You know what I mean?
Well, he proves it.
He does. And I could, but I go back to the Eagles, bro. 2005, 2006 football season. I was there, bro. I was there. We all thought it was something suspicious, and come to find out they had Spygate. Wasn't that Spygate?
And Deflategate.
Yeah, that was wasn't Deflategate some other?
That was when Brady they accused the Patriots of deflating the ball.
Yeah, but that wasn't against the Eagles. Spygate was against the Eagles.
Yes, against the Eagles.
Yeah, and I believe it. And all those Belichick people that think he's great, I'll tell you something right now. I love that Hall of Fame committee. For me, you ain't gonna let him in. Go back to his right. Look, he might be a great guy. He had Tom Brady. Okay, Mickey and could probably have that winning season. Just say, Tom, go throw the football.
That's true.
Greg Buckley could have a winning season. Tom Brady's that good.
Brady proved it when he went to Tampa Bay.
Bingo, beautiful, absolutely. Tom Brady's once in a lifetime. Quarterback comes around just like a
Drake May is going
like a stallback, like a Bradshaw.
True.
Once in a lifetime quarterbacks that can do all this, and Brady did it better than anybody. I got to say, I love Joe Montana. Brady's top. Who's beating Brady in anything?
If you had to go to the last man standing, it'd have to be Brady.
I give it to him. Not because he was a Wolverine graduate, just because he's a great guy and was a great quarterback. And when he got in that, I think it was 99 draft or something like that, 98, 99 draft.
Third round, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. And I was I picked him up for my, and he was going in, and I picked him up on the mock football thing in the league when we had it. We had our meeting over there at Hooters. Can you believe that place been around that long?
Hooters?
Yeah. It's been around a long time. So we had our meeting out there, and I took.
They're known for chicken wings, aren't they?
Chicken wings, and I think something with begins with B.
Yeah,
burgers. They got great burgers.
Well, I'm thinking buns.
They got them too. Good burgers served with beautiful buns.
There you go. Smash Brother, you nailed that one.
We'll leave that alone. We'll let that stay there. But so I had faith in Brady back then because I saw what he did in Michigan. I always root for Michigan because of my family in Michigan.
Right.
And by the way, that's a great stadium. I've been to one game in my lifetime. I like to get back. It was a real treat. But so the thing of it is, bro, we got to continue to push things forward for stories like that. So Sam Darnold wins this game, I think. comes back and says, look, you drafted me, traded me. I won you a bunch of games. Now I won a Super Bowl. And how you like me now? That's the American story. That's the American story. Rise to greatness. This is what our land's about, man. And you can rise to greatness no matter if you go out and sweep a broom and put food on your family's table. Because guess what? You rose to something.
Well,
you did something.
Here's a key lesson.
Not everybody can be in the Super Bowl.
I know, but here's a key lesson.
Everybody can have a family.
That Brady is proving, right? Now, you ask people. Now, there's some comparisons here that we can segue into a couple of things. But one, a lot of people don't like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Not for the Deflategate and the Spygate and all that. They don't like him because he's successful. All right. I will put this.
Slowly at the top, baby.
My wife shares opinions of a lot of people, right?
Okay.
On this Brady thing, that she doesn't like him. And I go, well, why don't you like Tom Brady? Because I just can't stand him. And
He's
I go,
Irish.
No, but I go, why can't you stand him? And she goes, I just don't like him. Because he's probably everything okay, good looking guy, tall, super successful, 7 Super Bowls. 7.
And played in
10. Right. And he works his tail off. Right. Yes, he's had some marital differences, but he's always taking care of business. So he leaves football. Right. After Hall of Fame career, no doubt. First ballot.
And knew when to get out.
Right. And he probably could go back in right now. You think Phillips Rivers did something. You put Brady back on the field. Yeah, I like that story.
I hope he becomes a coach. I really do.
Well, you put Brady, if Brady wasn't, and I will tell you this, if Brady did not have any kind of stake in ownership with the Oakland Raiders, with the Las Vegas Raiders, Brady would have went back on the field. I almost positive he would have done that. But one of the things that you have to admire with a guy like Brady is he leaves football, one career done, signed, sealed, delivered, right? Wrap it up, throw it away. He jumps into sportscasting. He is mediocre on his first season. Press rails him. He says he's not Tony Romo, but Tony Romo is the competition.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay. What does Brady do?
Turn it all around.
Turned it all around. And now poor Tony dumping this year.
Well, Tony's still good, but now, because Brady, upscaled him. And now, Tony's getting this wrong. Tony's slow on that commentation. Look, Tony Romo is a good human being and a very football knowledgeable quarterback who went into announcing and doing a great job. Now, speaking of careers, hey, aren't we doing the same thing, bro? We had 2 great successful careers. Well, you still got one going on because you got that dual role. But I am true in the railroad industry, and this broadcasting stuff I really, really enjoy. Now, I don't know if I'll get a career out of it. I might buy some baseball cards.
I think you got some chops.
Well, we have good times and good laughs. And And one day, if anything materializes that, I guess what? Back in my day, railroad, I was a reporter, like the news correspondent with Amtrak News back in the 80s. That was pretty cool. I got a chance to work on a few newspapers back when the employees were doing their own publications. It was a great thing, and got into some PR work with the internet or the local and things like that. So I just kind of like this kind of stuff because guess what? You have conversations, and I always said you learn in the power of conversation. So I learned 4 things here sitting today at this table that I did not know. A, Brady was part owner of the Raiders. I had no idea about that. Yeah, that's good, man. And that's probably why.
Fractionally, but he's still he's technically an owner.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. So, and then I learned about some nice ladies serving gas or pumping gas at Buckley's Arco. Speaking of that, there ain't too many people that have memorabilia from Buckley's Arco with the leather keychain. I still have that. And I still have the private charter's first pamphlet.
You do, yeah.
It's in one of my tool drawers I keep with memorabilia because I got a lot. I keep everything, man. I keep everything.
Well, I keep looking at the camera, and we got 5% left on that battery on that camera, so we might lose our camera. Or I have to come up with a quick solution.
All right. Well, how much time we got? Let's get in. We talk football. We talk some life things. Let's talk about Super Bowl Sunday and what it means to everybody.
No, we can keep going. We just don't have a camera. I'll bring the camera over here.
Okay. Super Bowl Sunday, man. Tell me some of your favorite Super Bowl memories. SB1. Oh, you're off. You're off.
No, keep going.
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you one of my favorite memories. It was 1977. So it fell on my birthday, January 21st, and it was the Steelers and I believe the Cowboys. And the chef was my dad's friend, Mr. Plumbo from the Columbus Inn staff. He was one of their top chefs, and he lived in Bancroft Parkway, nice, beautiful row home. And he cooked me. It was my first goose and only goose I've ever had in my life, a goose dinner. And it came down 1103 Clayton Street, Cleveland Heights. And the knives that he left for that goose, for me, I guess, as a birthday gift, I still have to this day. So I keep it in my mountain house, and I got a really cool antiques, I guess, from the Columbus Inn. But John, thank you for cooking me that that birthday dinner. I'll never forget. We were all around the living room. We had an RCA color TV, the one with the 4 legs. And everybody's, watching and the football and stuff like that. And I think that was the controversy with Terry spelling cat. Remember one of the Dallas linemen or something said Terry Bradshaw couldn't spell the word cat. He had C, line, T, and he couldn't spell it. And I think that fired up Terry because he threw, oh my God, man. What a play to Lynn Swan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Just turn around. So I remember that Super Bowl, it was amazing. And so that was one of my fondest Super Bowl. My dad loved Super Bowl. Matter of fact, he passed right after the January 25th Super Bowl, 1998. He died that morning, on the 26th of January. But he did watch it a little bit in and out of the Super Bowl. We had it on. So
yeah.
But it's always a big day, always a big day. Now that we're getting older, it's still a big day, but it's more relaxed. I remember the big party we put together when it was the Niners and the Bengals. We went out, and you were renting that top floor off Mike Catrona.
Right, it was.
On 1105 Rodney Street.
Yep.
Yeah. So you were
South Rodney.
South Rodney. Yep. South Rodney Street. And he had the top floor, which was the whole, it was a Cape Cod. So the top was the whole run of the house on one side. And that was SB1's apartment. And then that was before Mike got his basement all fixed up and everything. And Greg said, let's do something, man. Let's do something. Let's have a Super Bowl party. And we went in your fastback. And then we went to Newark because you couldn't get beer on Sundays in Delaware. So then that's right. And that's
had to go to Elkton.
And that's why we went to that little store. I think it was a little A&P or whatever it was. After we got the beer, we went there and got all the lunch meats and stuff like that. We brought back beer and lunch meats, and we went down and set up the TV and everything. Mike's basement.
Oh, Mike's basement. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then everybody came over, and it was that impromptu. It was cool. And then Montana did hit what Montana does and beat the Bengals.
Beat the Bengals.
Yeah, right. That was a hell of a Super Bowl. I believe that was 80, wasn't it? 80 or 81, something like that.
When he threw to in the end zone. Was that? No, that was against Dallas.
That was against Dallas.
That was
that was a championship. Yeah, that was too.
Well, we lost a good quarterback just this week too. Sonny Jerkison passed away.
Oh, I didn't see. I did not know. Sonny died.
Sonny J.
Oh man. Oh bro, man. Rest in peace, Sonny. Man, the old Redskins, boy.
Yeah. He started off as an Eagle.
Oh yeah, he was an Eagle.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, he was
Eagle.
an Eagle. Damn
Yeah.
right. Yes, he was.
Yep.
Yes, he was.
So-
Lombardi brought him into the organization, I believe.
Down in D.C.
Down in D.C.
Yeah.
That was his first quarterback, I believe. I got to check that out. But when Lombardi left there, and then he wanted to coach, and then he went into the office with the Redskins.
Right.
And I believe the family got a piece of that organization when they made that deal. I'm not too sure.
Really? I don't know.
It was because, Mr. Lombardi, he was very, very smart. And I got to meet his neighbors down at Finn's in Rehoboth one Friday afternoon on one of their happy hours when I was down there. And they recall they'd gone to the parties in their basement because he lived, Mr. and Mrs. Lombardi lived right around the stadium. It was like Paterno, he lived right next to State College right there, and he would walk to the stadium and everything. Yeah. Well, Vince Lombardi, he lived right because the house is right where the stadium's at, Lambeau Field, and he lived right down the block. So after all the games, win, lose, or draw, he always had, when there was a home game, he had a family party Sunday night. It was better naturally when you win. Sure. And the Packers did a lot of winning in those days. So
absolutely, yeah.
Man, that's the days, man. Yeah. Vince Lombardi, I believe that trophy's named after that great man. That great man. Just talked about the Power Suite. They call it the Jet Suite now, but let's call it the Power Suite.
Power Suite.
Got a seam here and a seam there. We're going to take it all out in the seams, and this guy's going to run around the end. We're going to get 20 yards of pop. I can see him now. How about Ernest Borgnine playing Vince Lombardi?
That was great.
Wasn't that great?
Yep. Yeah, he did a great. Well, you know what? Ernest looked just like him.
Oh, hell yeah, man. McHale's Navy. What a great show. We had shows like that. McHale's Navy.
Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island. Laverne Shirley.
All of them there, man.
Oh, man, we had them all. What do these poor kids have to this day? Look, but we had happy days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had happy days.
Literally happy days.
Go to MeTV. All you young people out there, get away from this trash that's on TV. That's what you're bombarded with. Go to MeTV. Go back in time, man. See, this is the nice thing that you can create in your world. You can go back into time, right? And me speaking, I love to live in the past. I don't want to live in the future. I want to go back in time. That's why I love going in the mountains. You're going back 25, 30, 40 years in time, and it's just beautiful. You can achieve that. Don't have to be in the future. You don't always have to look these shows. What are they all garbage? Go back to seeing Mork and Mindy, man. How about that show? Man, we're going way back. Bro.
With Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Yeah. Hey, who was Mindy? She was hot.
God, I wish I could remember her name.
Three's Company, huh? Suzanne Summers.
Suzanne Summers,
yeah.
Yeah.
Back, man.
Jack Ritter.
John Ritter. And then the other girl, that's a shame. We always forget about her. But she was just as good. Mary. What her first name? Mary.
All right. Well, that goes Marianne or Ginger.
That's Mary. Yeah, that's Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, but who?
Whoa. Well, Marianne was always the farm girl, so I would go country before Hollywood. Country. I'm down to earth, baby. I don't need that glitz. There was more glitz on that stage there, that Grand Friday night that I've seen in Delaware my entire life.
There you go.
I can't speak enough about that show. That was a good show.
He had all his marshals stacked in the back. It was a trio.
Oh, wasn't that a beautiful?
Did that sound so good?
Ah, man, and you talking about old school? That was old school. Where you see a tower set up like that? Great point. That stage setup was phenomenal, man.
Yeah, and it was all cords.
It was all cords.
It wasn't no wireless.
No wireless.
All cords.
Everything was everything was cool, man. That was probably, like I was telling Franny Simeon, that was probably one of my favorite shows I've seen there, besides the Alm and Betts family reunion.
Those 3 great shows I saw. I mean, a tremendous music scene this week.
Yeah,
really kicked off the season.
Yeah, that was it was good to
By the way, we were talking about going to Little Feat. Did you want to go?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. At the time, there were tickets. I'm going to shut up. Don't buy no tickets because I got to buy my tickets first.
Yeah. We got to we got to go to Little Feat because we saw them down at the
Freeman,
and
they were a great show.
And then also OSB2 dodged a bullet there, baby. Huh? How about when I fell on that concrete?
Oh yeah.
I turned around. I was wearing my Allman Brothers Little Feat tee, which I'm very proud of. When they played at the Spectrum, it was the first time I saw Little Feat, and a guy saw my T-shirt, and I went to take a step to turn and to talk about the show. Well, somehow I missed the missed the curb, and there was a drop off because it wasn't all butted up together. And I did thank God I knew I was in a free fall, and I did a tuck and roll. By the way, if you're ever in a free fall, get your chin to your neck. That secures your neck and your spine. That's very important when you're on a free fall from a surface level or any level, but especially surface level. Not that I know anything about that, but trust me, because it saved my life. I got into a spin, got into that free fall, tucked and roll, and landed on concrete. People that were walking ahead thought it was an earthquake because they all turned around and said, "What the hell happened? I'm on the ground." Marguerite comes in there like a strong nonna, like she is. She picked her man up off the ground, like, "Get to the show, you stupid son."
There you go.
What are you doing falling on this concrete?
Hey, listen, folks, Mick, we're gonna do something here. Now I'm gonna plug power back in.
Okay.
We may have a glitch here, so
all right,
we're gonna count down. If not, we'll be right back after this. Hopefully this won't happen, but if it does, we're coming back shortly. No, it didn't. Okay, great. Fantastic. Good. We got to get power back to the old laptop here. We've been putting this equipment to major uses today. And all right,
iced
good.
coffee. You have.
We're now charging the phone. I think we can get the phone back up.
We're back up.
I believe we are now. We got power coming all over the place.
SB1, he does everything. He does everything. Studio setup. Technical setups, everything. And guess what that means? They can do anything for your car. They can do anything for your trucks. Get them in here. Get them in here. Line them up down Millsboro and then Newport Pike here on Maryland Avenue. Get them in here. It's always good. I see the parking lot's full.
Parking lot is full.
That's a beautiful thing.
And we are back on camera.
Hey, everybody. Woo! Peace and love. Peace and love. Nice little short commercial there.
There we go.
Buckley's Auto Care. Hey, you guys we talked about your Arizona trip. You just got back. Not only they're sharp with their tools and everything, but they go to these conferences to learn how to be great leaders in the industry. Yeah.
I gotta fix the camera real quick.
And connectivity.
Yep,
so
like
you want people to always that are in a higher education for their field to be a part of for your vehicles.
Well, we were out there. I had a great time with a lot of my colleagues. Shout out to everybody that I had the chance to work with. I had a great conversation with a gentleman by the name of Joe Marconi, Gene Morrell, and Kelsey Outram from Lyft Automotive, who helps with the shop website. But Joe Marconi, legend, owned 3 shops from New York, Bronx, hell of a guy. But Arizona is, and my buddy Frank Lutz, who took us around. Frank is, if that reminds me, folks, check Wrench Nation. Just go to wrenchnation.tv, and Frank does a probably one of the best in the business when it comes to building community. He is super media savvy. I learned from Frank, and I talk a lot. We go through a lot of steps to do media the right way. And he is a hell of a friend and a very generous individual in his whole community. So shout out to Big Frankie.
Good, man. I'm glad you, like I said, man, everybody gets trained, whether it's a certified through ASI or ASC, all those programs that you need to be upscale with today's modern cars. Buckley's Auto Care is right there for the modern car.
Well, thank you, Ron. It was a hell of a pitch.
Damn right, baby. Damn right. Are you kidding me? This is where it all begins, man. This is it. This is it,
we're
baby.
In the back. We're in the back of the parts room. I gotta start to get this wall done and get
You'll get there.
Yeah,
Rome wasn't built overnight, bro.
I'll tell you what, folks. We used to be side by side, but now we're starting to get mix across this way. I'm this way. We've got guests coming in.
I'm not really a fan of this setup.
You're not? No. Now I know.
Hey, well, now like I said, it's our staple side by side, but we're going to be broadcasting a lot coming up this, spring and stuff differently. So we got to get used to it. Times change. Right? That studio in Millsboro, that was a hell of a run on Monday or Tuesday morning. Yeah. Tuesday morning, we had that beautiful breakfast with Franny and Debbie.
Yeah.
And then poor Franny had to get that bad news, man. We were like, once again, big shout out, Fran Simeon. You know, SB1 and SB2's there for you and your family.
Yeah, absolutely.
During these times, man.
Yeah.
We'll be there indeed. So, you know, I'll tell you something right now. That, like I said, we always talk about the Sussex County and what it means to, you know, your business, your family, what it meant to me, my family growing up and being there and still getting down here. Like I said, man, it's just so blessing, man. I mean, my parents was, you know, 1982, or excuse me, 75 to 80 at Potnets, and then 82 to 97, actually, well, 98 in Indian River, Riverdale, Chief Clark's property. And you know, just to have that experience. And now, you know, you were coming down my parents' trailer and we hung out, went out on the boat a few times and stuff like that. And here we are. What do we say? Together forever. And now we're back. You're back in Sussex County. You know, SB1s or SB2s in Sussex.
Back where we started.
Back where we started, baby. It's nothing skips a beat. That's what I'm saying. You lay your groundwork down, and it's all good things, man.
Oh, yeah,
believe in the goodness. Believe in the goodness. And,
Yeah.
and you know, real quick right here, I just got to say this on the Super Bowl Sunday, brother. And I'm not trying to poo-poo anything, and I'm not trying to make a division racially or anything like that. All I'm saying is, so many people of different cultures look to these sports where they see a significant amount of folks of their same color, skin, nationality, and they, you know, think that, you know, that's to get these millions, to get this, I got to do this sport, or I got to be this type of athlete, or I got to, you know, do this in show business or anything. Let me tell you something. That's less than a fraction of 1% that's from the population that's into that. But you can have great lives and, you know, and so many wonderful things that you can experience, and you don't need all that. You can have a great, like I've always said, being in a delivery room as a man, it's my Super Bowl when our
when kids were born.
When our kids were born, they put them in our hands. And are you kidding me? There was no greater feeling. I mean, walking out that, you know, you're happy that your wife's healthy and your kids are all safe. They got 10 fingers, 10 toes, and everybody's happy. And you walk out that door. I'll never feel that feeling again in my life. And guess what? You didn't need to be on any stage. Didn't need to be getting a monster trophy. Now, I'm not taking away from any of that, and it's great to achieve higher goals. Not saying about that, but in reality, you don't need anybody to get you off a bus to go to a park. Go to a park yourself under supervision. You don't need anybody to give you stuff all the freaking time. You can earn your stuff and learn it. You don't have to always think that somebody from a greater organization needs to deliver something to you for you to carve your way in this country. You don't need it. We never had it, never want it, or would accept it. We network and earn and help each other out. There's a difference there. There's a huge difference there. I want you to see that, all right? All you sports fans out there raising kids, earning and making networks and opening doors and helping out each other and growing. And then what does that mean? Financial gain, wealth, good living. That's what we all need. You know, we all want that in this nation. We all want to stand up to have a great life. And guess what? You don't need a sport to do that. You don't need $1 million contract to do that. You don't need to be thinking that somebody's got to give you a book bag or whatever. Okay, maybe somebody else can't get a paper route, or well, you can't get a paper route. I don't know what you can do. Go wash cars. I don't know. But we earn money. I squeezed lemons at 5 years old. And when I got my cup of change at Christmas time, because my grandparents never paid me, we paid our cousins. And when I got my cup at Christmas time, you might have thought a bar of gold came on that table. Well, we actually got it on the floor. That's what they did back then. So that was it. But you know what? I was squeezing lemons at 5 years old, bro.
Yeah, for a lemon ice.
For my grandparents' water ice stand. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you know what? You can earn money. I can't. Yeah, I'll say it now. I was a stock boy, Wilmington Dry Goods. I think they call them stock clerks now, but back then you were called a stock boy. Okay. Yeah. And walked around, and I had that beautiful time with my mother. She worked at Dry Goods, and I'm going to go one step further, and I'll give a shout out to Duda. Duda took me to Acme when I was a G18 getting shopping carts. So that days I didn't have a license a little bit. And
how did Duda get you there?
He would drive me out there in the morning. I'd take a bus back, save me 35 cents.
Really?
Right-handed guy. I'd take a bus back. I lost my license for 6 months.
Ah, no kidding.
Yeah. And then during that time, I had to stay local. I said, well, let me go work. Let me go work.
Go to work.
And I went to the Acme out on 141, filled out the applications.
Yeah.
And you call somebody a G18 today, they'll sue you, sue the company, close the business down, everything. Are you freaking kidding me?
What's a G18?
That's what we were called. That was our title. You weren't a labor. You weren't anything. You were a G18. You were a utility worker. You went out and got the carts in the parking lot. You went and got clean up the aisleways. If a produce manager, somebody produce needed boxes out of the back, you got the boxes. If you need to put something on a cart, you got a cart. If an elderly lady had problems with her bags, you loaded her bags. But they would address you as a G18.
How about that? Yeah.
Exactly. They didn't say, Mike and Known, come here, please. G18 on duty, show up here. That's what they said on the intercom system. And then you showed up. Clean up on aisle 2, G18 1. That's it. You went, and that was always a favorite expression of mine. Clean up on aisle 2, call the G18. And it's all true. You call somebody something by your name now. Well, maybe some people like it, but most people I know want to be called by their name, first name, exactly. Be addressed and be commanded to do something for a task in business world.
It's easier to call somebody by first name because you can't get it wrong.
Well, that's true. I mean, but like I said, that was the mentality those days, and that is true, man. I took a bus. Duda took me there, and I took a bus home.
How about that?
Yeah, I did that for 6 to 8 months till I got my license back, and then I gave that up. I was a security guard for Allstate Security out here on where that shopping center is, Tony D's. Right there used to be Allstate Security.
That's right, it was.
In the back was the dogs, the canine dogs. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that was a treat when you had to take out a dog onto. I'll never forget when I got that assignment. I stopped at the Acme and got the biggest freaking milk boat you could buy right-handed cheese. So I was handling the dog and everything.
Busy.
And exactly. You had to pick up the dog, and you had to, the dog had a nice cage in the back of the pickup truck, but you had to get the dog in there and everything, open up that cage, and they're all growling. Ooh. And I had a big old milk bone. I swear to God. He got up there. I gave that milk bone, and then all them other dogs. I did, but it was great. All the other dogs wanted the milk bone, so they saw the milk bone. They were all ground, and I would bring them all milk bones. I swear, and I became friends with the canine dog. Boy, you talk about me and German Shepherds. Come on, man. That was like I like dogs and everything, but German Shepherds, man, that's one intimidating dog.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I wasn't going to call anybody, tell them I was scared. So I had to figure out a way
to make friends, make peace with those puppies.
Make peace. Give me some love. Make peace. So yeah. So dude had some good points in his earlier days. I will give him that.
We'll keep it at that.
We'll keep it at that.
I know that in between working at the shop. Especially when we were in school, I'd help Joe Ryan with the paper route when Joe would go away, or we'd split, and I'd walk up to Maple and do that route with him, take it wherever his route goes, and then I'd stop by Joe's for dinner. I was the guy that went from dinner to dinner to dinner. All the other Staffords, the Ryans.
Oh yeah. When we got you off Coleman Street, because we were always at your house, it was always like it was cool.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and I will say, I said, when Dad first got back to Delaware, right, we did live on McGovern Terrace.
Right.
So,
yes, that's right.
So,
yeah.
I count myself as part of Cleveland Heights collection. You know what I mean?
You were at the reunion.
That's right.
You were at the Cleveland Heights reunion. God bless that reunion.
Yeah.
So that was big things. Yeah. When I got when Pat Connor passed off to me their paper route, the Connor brothers paper route, you might as well but you earned it. So he passed it on to me, and we went and I went out, served the papers, did the collecting. Did the money, made money, got tips, and you paid your bill to your district manager.
You know
Ed
what?
Stivic was our district manager.
Okay, there you go. You're right. You had tally up at the end of the week.
At
you
the
had
end of the week, we met him up on Banning Street.
How many Sundays did you deliver? Because Sundays was more than your regulars.
That's right.
Right, and then you had early and late editions.
Yeah, morning news,
and evening journal.
And the Sunday bulletin.
That's right. Sunday bulletin.
That's right. And you delivered all three. And then you
right.
had to get somebody lined up when you had something to do to take your place.
Yeah. All those responsibilities were learned.
Bingo.
Accountability
right there.
Yeah.
So we were earning money no matter what it was, taking buses, doing this, man, out there on the life, making something.
When you get back into sports, we turn back to what college kids have today. They have the NFTs. And they're wealthier in college than their rookie season instead of the rookie contracts. They make more money in college than they do in their rookie seasons.
I got mixed feelings with that.
I have absolutely no feelings towards that. I think the college kids need to be paid. Don't get me wrong, because they put a lot out there. However, it has blown up in the face of the NCAA.
It's way too much, and I do admire the athletes that do get the contracts and do reward their other players on the field and give them some. Well, I think it should be, Greg, make no hands down about it. Anybody gets those scholarships and makes all those monies for those big-time universities, it should be equal across the board. They shouldn't have this portal. You go here, you can get a bigger contract advertised. And Ronnie gave me a big education on that portal.
Yeah.
I really remember on that golf trip, he talked about 45 minutes straight, and we were all fascinated by it. And learned a lot about that.
It's decimating college sports.
It really is. It's not good.
And here's where it's going. It's decimating high school sports because you have.
I could see that.
You have teams. In fact, right here in Delaware, you'll have squads that are heavily promoted and they're funded by corporations, right?
Okay.
And I believe I'm correct here. I could be wrong, but you got Red Lion Christian School.
Oh yeah,
right. They were funded by a lot of private money. Yeah. They brought in students from all over the place, but it really wrecked everything. And now kids today in high school they will choose based upon what they're given, whether it's a free ride, whether it's incentives, all this, or where they get the best exposure to play.
Right.
But even with the college sports and the pro sports, and it filtered into the Olympics. Don't get me wrong, I love when USA wins, but you know what? I have to say that it is tainted because these are all professional athletes that are now entering the Olympics.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of the Olympics, let's give a shout out. Quick healing. I don't know if you heard about Lindsey Vonn today. Yeah, being airlifted first thing this morning.
Yeah, she tore an ACL.
Well, she had an ACL issue going in, and right. You know what? I tell you what. I told that story to my family this morning. The one thing I have in common with somebody I don't even know is that her passion for the sports and to play with something knowing it was dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And golf, to me, I was the same way. We were in Bermuda. We stayed at the Belmont only because it was Bob Hope's favorite place. And you got unlimited greens fees at the Belmont golf course. And it was absolutely gorgeous right there off the coast in Bermuda. Beautiful. So anyways, we get in a scooter accident day before. And I'm hurt, man. I got this brace on and everything. I soaked my leg we soak in the bathtub that night instead of doing other things like a nut. And so I could play golf because it's Bob Hope's, not knowing what's going on in my life,
right.
But I got to play golf. So the next day I come out of the clubhouse with my clubs, and you had to walk it. So you had a caddy and everything. So I get the caddy gets the clubs, and as I go up, I'm on a tee box grouped up with some. I take my first swing, I'm on my ass, and then I tell everybody what's going on. They said, "Well, you didn't look too good getting here," and I certainly wouldn't go back to that doctor because you're not doing good now. They helped me up off the ground. The caddy got the cart, brought me back, and then I got back into the hotel room. Marguerite took great care of me, and we met this other
the Smash Chat.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. But like I said, that's so I can appreciate her drive to do that. You took a risk, And I feel bad for you. I'm just glad you're safe. You were very safe, and that looked dangerous. That airlift, it didn't look like, routine.
No.
Somebody falls, whatever. It was. So thank God they got these kind of people get on them apps and save people like that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so we wish you a speedy recovery there,
Miss
Lindsay. Yes,
she did know, she did go in knowing that she had a weak.
Oh yeah,
situation.
Her drive, the competitive spirit, like you were saying, man. Somebody gets hurt at work, you got an ACL problem or a knee problem, you're not going to go to work. Everybody's going to let you. But like you're saying, this drive for the sports to do this, the competitive edge, it's good. But thank God it just had a better ending. And she's safe and she's going to heal up. They're saying she may never ski again.
Oh, I'm sure she won't.
But
she'll go into commentary and do all that stuff. And that's fine. That's
whatever.
But what I'm saying is we're
just giving a recognition for her great attitude.
What made you feel better? 1980 hockey or the 98 basketball? What was better? I mean,
oh man, that's so tough because hockey, to break into hockey and win that up in Lake Platte, that to me, that was it.
Right.
That was it. I mean, that was huge, man. The Russians they were just Germany just dominating, Europe dominating.
They were, and the Russians were pretty much pro.
Oh, they were all
right?
They were all pro, and that was before any pro sport could get into the Olympics.
What I'm saying is, here's my thing, is that you have young blood, hungry blood, emotionally ready to rip the shit out of things.
Right.
Playing for your country. Right?
Right.
You're all amateurs. You haven't collected a red cent. And here you are busting your ass to beat a pro team, and you did it.
Oh, it was I watched that movie 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Well, that movie's that's a great movie. I knew, and my sisters and her family, they're all hockey people, so that's a big deal.
Yeah, and then you can listen to Mike Azzaroni, and that's his life story, and rightfully so.
Yeah, when you get something like that,
right? But you get these athletes today that are, they'll play pro sports here, right?
Right.
All right, and they could be from other countries. And now the leagues are pretty much internationally filled with athletes, right?
Oh,
here in the States. And then you're rooting for them and you're playing, you're great, love. And then they go back and they play for their home countries. That's all good. But I'm talking about the pros that get into the Olympics. They play every day. They're not amateurs. They may have love of country, maybe, but they're still love more of money. They're compensated. And where did all these rules go from? And I think sports has, it's not so much that, there's no innocence in sports anymore. None. I mean, the kids are expected to be paid, right? They play for pay. Now you have prop bets all over the place. You have all of the gambling sites intertwined with it, and then the Center for the Bucks just bought into what they call the predictive markets, right? So the predictive market is you pretty much have anything in the world to bet on, and now it's commonplace where they affect the outcome of the game. They have the ability to affect the outcome of the game.
Well, it's so there's so many different dynamics in sports and everything. I can only tell you about professionally minor league baseball, and I can tell you that.
You can. I mean, your son.
Yeah, Michael had 5 years in the minors in the independent baseball league, and then when they got into the Pioneer League, which was non-affiliated but sponsored by MLB. So what that meant, it gave when the MLB phased out a lot of their smaller minor league teams and areas. They went to independent baseball, picked one league in the 5 or 6 different leagues that's in that organization, and the MLB at that time picked the Pioneer League. Well, they used that as their farm system, right? Mm-hmm. You could pick up people, pitchers, position players, or whatever. I believe the second baseman replaced Joya on the Red Sox right from there, and he did a great thing. Played for some team in Denver. I can't remember their nickname, but anyways, it is a different thing, and you see this, and like I said, naturally the athlete is spending more money trying to get on a field than they're actually getting paid to play the sport. So, like I said, Michael will work with Dask, Danny Leisinger, great friend of mine, great family, great family business, great man. Vinny Papa's brother-in-law, and just a great guy all around. Glad I got to know him, and he worked with him for 5 years, and he would work and he'd save his money to go out to the to play ball, and their pay was hardly enough, but they did it for the love of the game.
Yeah,
and that competition, and you see that in the fans and the stadiums where they played at and stuff of that nature. It was great stuff. So in the Pacific Northwest of independent baseball, what you would want to see, what you're talking about, is still in existence. People playing for the love of the game.
Yeah.
People playing to advance themselves, but not thinking that I got to give something up because I didn't get a contract, or I didn't get drafted, or I didn't get a free agency, or something like that. They're out there trying. Now, there's a lot of players get picked up from that. Probably not. I should say position players. Probably not. Mostly pitchers.
Sure.
But the thing of it is, it's still good family entertainment. A family can pull up, get free parking.
Right.
You get your tickets $7, $8, $10. You can sit at a premium seat, no more usually than $30. You get a premium seat. You could get your hot dogs. So you could still have a beautiful night out at a professional sport and see great baseball for $200. That's
or
less. Well, like I said, even four hot dogs and 2 sodas, that's $30. Another 120 with tickets. So it still adds up. But what I'm saying is, you're not. We would go to the Eagles games at $800-900.
Sure, $1,000.
And how many years ago was that?
That was
10 years ago. I sold my season tickets in 2016.
Now I bet you're hitting $2,000 to go to a game for 4 people plus tickets, ticket prices, parking, food, all of that,
everything, clean up all your time and everything. $1,500,
$500 a person.
There's not a doubt in my mind, brother. Yeah. And especially if you have upscale tailgate parties like we had.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I tell you something right now, bro. We were cooking steaks.
Yeah, we had some ribeyes. We had it all. We had it all, man.
And then that one Dallas party I had, our last big tailgate party. You guys were there.
Yeah.
We had 125 people. It was the most massive party I've ever been a part of on the streets of Philadelphia, and it was a
streets of Philadelphia.
Unfortunately, my at the time my cousin was roofied or whatever. He would drink a pill put in a drink. It was sad. They had to go through all that, but thank God she's okay now. It was okay and got through that, but that's what happened. You always got to watch your drinks and stuff like that. Never lose sight of that, especially at tailgate parties. Yeah. But that was a massive tailgate party. But once again, we had great times. And how about when Michael A. was alive, man? He loved the Eagles. Then he had number 10, Catrona.
Man, number 10, Catrona.
That was his number.
Mac 10.
Mac 10. Man, how about that? That's before the Mac card. Can you imagine that? We had a friend, Michael Angelo Catrona, who got his initials on, a monogrammed license plate here in the state of Delaware, Mac, and his jersey number was 10. So it was Mac-10, way before the Mac card.
I think I still got that plate.
Now, I think you gave it. I thought you gave it back.
I never got it.
Never got it?
No, I said, where do you want me to? It never got back with me on it.
Oh, wow.
I think I still have it. It was down in my basement, and I had it kind of like hanging up over on the rafter there a little bit, and I don't think
I don't know, because I do recall us when we left that one visit. You asked Don, the player.
You're right.
You asked her, and she said, "Take it." She said, "Take it."
But I said, "I'll get it to you," and then she said, "Oh, never mind," because Elise wanted it, and I said, "Sure, whatever,
Right. Exactly.
But I go back and check. Maybe I did. Maybe I did.
I thought when she requested it back, you gave it back to her. Now it was a few years ago when
it was a few years.
And I remember that because I distinctly remember when we were leaving the garage, Mac 10 was up there.
It was,
and then you asked Don, and Donna said take it, and And then I remember when she asked you for it back, and my memory, amazing. I can't remember what I had for dinner 3 days ago, but I remember you gave that back because
Okay.
you called and told
I'll
me
go
that.
double check just
You
to
double
make sure,
check,
but you know,
yeah. But
so,
I remember that episode. It was Mac 10. Rest in peace, Michael A. We don't forget about you. 2006.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, you're listening to You're listening to Smash Brothers here on the 302 radio show,
and it's Super Bowl Sunday
Super
talk.
Bowl Sunday talk. We we're live on YouTube, and we're here live on the 302 as well. We want to say thanks for everybody for hanging out and listening, and just we're just here on a Super Bowl Sunday as we did last year.
Zero temperatures, talking talk,
Yeah,
and let's get into some current events with the Guthrie family. Our hearts, the Smash Brother hearts, goes out to you, what you've been dealing with your mother, and you
had some theories on that.
Well, I did, and I've been watching it like most of the nation. I'm intrigued by it because you got the first time digital currency and digital communications is being used in a major crime. And yesterday's announcement that came from Savannah was just gut wrenching because to me, I tell you, how she said it, the family's body language. We got your message. This is important to us to make peace, she said, in our lives, and to celebrate. So when you're doing things like that, I think they got a, message. I'm hoping for the best. I'm praying for the best, but you always got to look at the other side of things. And I felt my heart drop yesterday when I watched that. I really did, because it's just, for that to happen, for those people to do something like that, that's what I'm saying, man. We're just in a whole different world, man. And now they're all worried about copycats and this and that. Bro, I'm telling you, we're going to get back to what we talk about on these shows, baby.
Yeah.
Law and order. I'm telling you right now, man, we are a society where we're based upon many, many principles. And those principles come with a pioneer edging. Like we're supposed to be sophisticated and everything. Mm-hmm. But then once again, we cannot lose our edge. What brought this greatness of this land to where we're at today. And it's things, it needs to change, because, the copycats is what I'm worried about,
Of course.
It's sickening. We got sickening things happening. We had a sickening thing happen in our state. We had an animal come in the Delaware motor vehicle and took out one of our finest troopers, Officer Ty Snook. I'm wearing his sweatshirt right now. We went to their fundraisers down the beach.
Yeah, we did.
The Starbird, and I went to the one at the Glens on 141. Nobody walks in. Nobody's supposed to kill state troopers in Delaware motor vehicle. Nobody's supposed to kidnap this Nancy Guthrie out of her beautiful house, having dinner with her family. And she's such a great lady. She missed church one time, and everybody said something's wrong with her. Something's wrong. And they notified the family right away. That's what I'm saying. You have beautiful eyes and this and that, and you got these animals out there. Listen, you got to be wise to what your environments are. Okay? It's just a sad time which we live in, but I don't know. How can you control this, Greg? You got cameras. They rip them off the wall. You got cameras in the windows. They put up there the tape outside so you can't see it. You put cameras in the posts. They'll shoot them out or cut the electric. Okay, cameras aren't going to be working right now. All right, it can give you clues. I am not saying that. It give you great clues. But now they figure out ways to disarm these systems and everything. So what else do we have? Well, I don't know. What do you do?
I think that 30 years ago, the genie got out of the bottle, and we're participating in it right now. We've got the internet, we've got social media, and opinions fly around like you wouldn't believe. And people with soft minds that are pliable and may not have, good decision making, get wrapped up in a lot of the hype. No matter from what side, they get wrapped up in the hype. And then they start to do stupid things. And that's what we see. We see people who are, if everybody's voice, you got a cacophony of sounds and opinions and memes and people who don't, we live in a 30-second world, 15-second world. And they look at that as that's my path. I got to do that because that's what everybody else is doing, and there's no thought anymore. There's no people who say, well, let me back up a little bit. You know what I mean? And they don't take the time to have a whole understanding, and then they react. And if you have I don't know what to call it. I want to say a level of disrespect, but it's not respect. It's just that you feel that your action that you take right now is going to solve a problem. Like if your theory is correct, and
I don't want to discuss that theory. I sent it to you.
You did,
just to have it because it's so sad. And I'll tell you something right now. My gut tells me I think I'm right.
Well,
and I don't want to, because I do not want to give any bad news to this family or my theory about anything right now.
Well,
But that's why I
sure
sent it to you, because I want to keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. And I want this Miss Nancy to be with her family and just be together and being back in her church.
I know, but it's the decisions that you make personally. It's even with the unfortunate situations that are through Minnesota. Those people who have perished, and the officers that had the action for them. There's consequences on what you do. And we've talked about this before. But you have a thought.
Yeah, those people had a choice. This poor lady did not.
She didn't. No. Right. That is a completely different. I understand that. But right. what I'm trying to get out is, there's
evil people out there.
But Mick, there's so much weak minds. I can't say it because that's disrespectful to say weak minds, but they're influenced to the point where they don't realize what their consequences can be if they take a certain action.
Well, these people in this situation, they have to be, I would believe their MO, what they got these people picked out as young, savvy, Bitcoin involved, digital, sending things right to, specific news agencies, communicating online. So there's no phone call. Nobody's trying to dial in, get where their location, pick up a beam. They're trying to research ISP jobs, addresses, but they're rerouting that 7-8 different ways. I mean, I know a little bit about that, not much. Somebody probably, there's a whole world out there that
I just think that
can camouflage. What I'm trying to say is can camouflage you in digital. That was my question to you. In this world of digital right now, what these people now have exposed because we've never had digital ransom before. We never had communications via networks and this and that. There's usually a fixed location, a hostage somewhere, some location, some plane, something, or then there's a bad outcome when you have in history as it dictates what goes on. So the thing of it is now we got copycats, right? Now, who's to say that somebody's they watch a child, this and that, or watch somebody, and now they can't afford $6 million, but they can afford 100,000. Send me 100,000 as count. This is dangerous. So we got to get our people, our intellectual people, our internal organizations, right? Mm-hmm. We're in a different world. This ain't international. We ain't using them organizations. It should be used for America. All those organizations, and you know exactly what organizations I'm talking about. And we need to dial that in to get a hold of this digital before Americans have problems. Everybody has problems all across the world because this is who in God's creation would have ever thought that they would kidnap a beautiful woman that has a daughter who's worth a lot of money, take her out of her house, and then use digital for everything, and then probably set up major digital conflicts for everything. And now who knows where if they're even with her. You know what I'm saying? It's just sickening, and we got to get smart. And it's time, because I believe in my heart we are in a position or changing of just like let me back up here. So before semiconductors, before chips, before ICs, integrated circuitry, and all that, right? You had your analog tube, you had your analog, and then you went digital primitive with the transistor, right?
Yeah.
What the physical transistor did with that, putting the diode together with a gate for open and close, and then you were able to do things with the binary system. Then you were able to create what? Radio, dial bigger on TV, transmission, amplification, stuff like that. Okay, so we adapted to all of that, but it was never used in a way of, to go against life, hostages, kidnappings, and things like this. So now we got Bitcoin, we got digital, we have microwaving processing, we have whatever, thousands of.
Well, these are all they're all
tech advantages. But this tech advantage right now has opened the door for something new in crime. It had something new in crime now.
I think that now you said digital hijacking, right? I think that you said that.
Well, they're used hijack, digital ransom, because now you could create an account where nobody has a name, nobody has anything, and I want 6 million, and here's where you may pick up your child or your mother or your father or somebody. And maybe they're alive, maybe they're not. But all I'm saying is it's time, because there ain't nobody beating America in anything on the right side of America. Law and order, agencies, whatever. Nobody's beating us. So what I'm saying is we need to start doing something that nobody really wants to happen. And that is to dial in. And guess what? If you need to be a part of a camera, like in everything you do, okay, besides your house, have a camera. What works? I don't know.
Well, where are you going? There's a couple of things. First off,
satellite imagery, right? Get satellites up there that could dial into see a dot on this floor. We have that ability.
All right, so here you go.
This is what surveillance has to be.
I know what you're saying, but first of all,
we got to get ahead of this, fans. You got to get a hand.
Digital ransom.
Get ahead.
Digital ransom has been going on for quite some time. I mean, they could come in and hackers come in and they take your database and then they demand millions, billions, whatever company you are.
I'm talking about a human being, bro. I know that this is the first time ever.
I know that. And so
I don't care about equipment. I'm talking about a human
being. No. Hold on.
Yeah.
See, let me explain. So the process of a digital ransom is exactly as you explained it. They come in, they hack, they grab your database, sensitive information, social security numbers, whatever that's a hack, right? And so they can command your computer or your infrastructure or network and say, I want this much money before you get it back. Now, there's a lot of data in there that profiles a person and can steal their social security information, hack and spam and all that stuff. I just went through some of this with a provider of mine that was stealing Google services. So now the question I ask is, now you related to people. Now, yes, Mrs. Guthrie has been kidnapped and there's a digital ransom on her, correct?
Account set up in Bitcoin for them to pay. And
order?
They said they will pay.
Okay. That's fine. Of course you would.
Absolutely.
But the thing comes down to now is, in order to alleviate that, you can't not eliminate it. Don't know how you eliminate it, but alleviate it. Stop these opportunities. You would have a 24-hour personally identified surveillance, meaning that your face is registered. You're going to have your face registered when you go to the DMV. So then you have street cameras that would pick you up and profile you immediately. You walk down the street, you're profiled, right? They know everybody's watching you 24/7 surveillance. The only privacy you would have would possibly be in your home. And it might come down to a specific room, probably your bedroom or your bathroom. All right. How do you think society would handle that? Oh, you had one incident. Well, we know of one, but it goes on more than that.
Now, this is that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this is, and that's a very, very valid point. the invasion of your privacy, the invasions of your freedoms, and where does it go? How do you control it? Whatever. The thing of it is you're right. Digital imprints being captured on camera. Well, you know what? Most of the times you are on camera.
That's very true.
Most of the times, most of the times you are viewed. Okay. For example, I made a good point. Friday night at the show, the parking lot, right? I'm worried, just like you were when you were in the same situation. The gate was open. I went in, get my car, come out, paid a ticket, couldn't pay it. Then they have some thing on take this ticket here. I don't know. I'm not traveling around the city of Wilmington like that. Nighttime, I got my car, went home, but I'm at the camera pointing to my ticket saying no pay. I'll be back Monday. So I plan on going back in there Monday with that ticket and paying my bill and being honest about it.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is I'm not worried about being on a camera. Now, if I'm not worried about somebody, if I'm out on the street walking around somewhere and I go here, go there, and a camera picks me up, I could care less. But if somebody did that and then grabbed somebody out of that store and then there's a camera, then you got that, right?
Well,
but nowadays they could buy costumes. You saw a guy go to a show with a Batman costume on in protesting ICE with a bat. Are you kidding me? How do you get that dude in a door? Go check yourself into a nut hut. Going to show up in a Batman crazy? The Batman was for Gotham. Batman was for law and order. But Batman put the Riddler, the Joker, the Penguin, everybody in jail. So this guy wants to go like he's just some Cape Crusader for all the people that are listening to these politicians, like you said, and getting lead in their heads, which they should be alive. They should be alive and doing what they want to do. Well, listen to their family members. Their lives changed.
Let me tell you how the difference is between what you just stated as your example of being afraid to be on camera. Yeah. Now, here's the example that would happen. You had the ticket problem, right? You were trying to pay the ticket. You had a snafu. Something wasn't working anyway. You couldn't pay.
You couldn't pay.
And you were looking at the camera like this, right?
Right.
Okay. It's me. Well, they got your photograph. They have you on video. That's true. But you wouldn't have to go into the office to pay because they would look at you and up on the screen would say, Michael Unknown, your address, your phone number, your weight, your body, where you were, and how long you've been there. That's how deep the profiling gets. Okay. And they would go, oh, we got his credit card. We'll just take care of you. And you get a text going, Mr. Unknown, you're okay. We got you. We know you. We know you, Mr. Unknown.
Yeah, that would be good because you know what?
Okay, well,
that would be good because you know what? That's a great example because when I make reservations, well, one thing ticks me off when they got to keep asking me the same email, my same phone number. Look, I'm Mike Unknown. Who else brings 12, 15, 16 people in your place? My name and number should be right there. Mike Unknown. You don't need no more information. You're right. That's a beautiful point. Mike Unknown makes right. Oh, okay, there it is. Thank you, Mr. Unknown. Goodbye. That's all you need.
But what I'm saying,
5 o'clock, 10 people, beautiful.
I know, but see, you're creating a log file on your own activity. So if you are, I know, but I'm saying, but this
there's no cameras turned on or not.
You never know.
Well, they had that. They took it all away.
No. What did they take away? Or who took that one away? We could go there, but
they took that all away. Bring that program back. Hell with it.
But it's not bad for people who are honest. It's not, have no ill intent. That's great. But even from a privacy standpoint, this is the thing that you have to look at. Now, you go to Europe, and you're profiled. You're looked at every way from side. So, I mean, I'm surprised you don't have X-rays running around the street and you're all X-rayed and everything like that. But
there's that technology that's out there.
I know there is, but it's the same thing when
the heat of your body.
It probably is.
The camera heats your body and you see your skeleton.
Well, these are kind of things that now, if I'm not mistaken, I thought a couple of things that they are reducing crime, but it's the same thing.
Crime rates are way down.
When you give
crime rates are way down, the murders and the rapes and everything, things are coming down. That's good. But the door is open now And I got that. We're talking about this digital. This is the first time. It's like to me, it's like we talked about. History repeats itself. Lindenberg, he was a famous pilot, family, rich, money. They took the baby. The baby died. They found it through the money trail and the lumber and the wood and got Hoffman, and he was the guy. And they did all that scientific technology when it was nothing. So what I'm trying to say is now with this case, hence in 2026, right? We know how the FBI grew from the Lindenberg kidnapping, okay? All I'm saying now, we have to grow the same way to figure out how to combat this digital hijacking, digital ransom into Bitcoins, into Dogecoins, into whatever. Because if not, I'm telling you right now, murders, kidnappings and things like that, it's not going to be the big name people. It's going to be every day. Because just like you said, they got every day Mr. Greg Buckley's computer. They hacked it. They want this, and now they want some money, or they're going to put something bad about you. We are in a different world with this technology. And what we need to do now, see, that's why I love the mountains. You go in the mountains, you're in the woods and everything. Nobody's worried about you. Nobody's worrying about you. Who's worrying about trees and woods? Nothing. But if you have a beautiful home, you're out there, this and that, you're low hanging fruit. Now the criminal mind activity is saying, how can I get some? Because they don't want to go to work. They don't want to do nothing. They want to ruin people's lives. And I want to get ahead of that. I want to get ahead of that and beat them son of a bitches down before they hurt innocent people like this Miss Nancy. That's what I want to do. I want to be proactive. And that takes some things out. It takes some things out. But guess what? Good will prevail. Good will prevail. If you lose a little freedom, if you lose this or that, nobody wants to do that. But guess what? America wouldn't exist if people didn't put themselves down for each other so they could go on, right? Neil Young, how about that? Right? I love that song, Cortez the Killer. Awesome. You could go on, bro. People carry many stones. They died along the way.
Cortez the Killer was
great song. Cortez the Killer is a great song. Well, guess what, pal? We got it. Listen, man, I'm all about love and peace and law enforcement doing everything on the right side of America. I'm not saying this is somebody Mike and known thing. All I'm saying is that we as a society, and that's one of the things I will be pushing with 31 Strong. 31 Strong is that organization that I'm starting, and we're going to be on this right side of life because I swear to God, I can't let these people beat us any longer, Bees. I can't let us, with the things I got in my head and the ideas I have and want to use and do this, some things are working, some things are started. We can beat this. Collectively as a society, we can get ahead of this type of what's going on. And we're doing it with the murders. We're doing it with that because actions were taken. Now it's causing a lot of hell raising because people want open borders for their own political power. So they get people in there, give them a number, and then they could go vote for somebody that you're going to get corruption. You see what's going on in Minneapolis. We don't want that. So we got to make sure we're doing the things the right way. But guess what? We can figure this out, and good living in good country. Because right now, baby, I'm more afraid of the copycat down the road. I'm more afraid of the copycat doing other things in society, preying. It's all about predators, how to get ahead of predators. Like we wrap our heads around, like, how do you stop a wildfire, right? You got brush. You can maybe maintain that, remove it, cut in pass, right? Wider fire paths.
Right. Yeah. Fire lane,
things of that nature. But guess what? These things don't work. Now, it'd be nice if there was water in the hydrants, instead of going around countries and trying to make a name for yourself. Put the water in the hydrants so people could get put out of fire and they don't have to die trying to save somebody's life or property. Right. So that you could start there. But other than that, you wrap your head around how can you stop these wildfires? So we're right now we're wrapping and we're just talking, we're spitballing. How do we get ahead of something that now is brought to our? Think about the people back then when in that era when the Lindbergh child got kidnapped. Can you imagine those people? Well, how did they do this? How could they? Didn't anybody see them? Couldn't how did you get that ladder up there with this and that? And And now, we came through the history of time to be able to solve crime. Now we got the first time that I know of, and there might be something out there in the world, but we got a lady that was well loved in this nation before this. Certainly the number one person that everybody's praying for right now is Nancy, Miss Nancy. There's no doubt this has captured America's attention. While we got all this focus, hopefully somebody hears our voices and say, look, we got to step up to the plate like the FBI did back when these cases, because there's only, like we talked about, 4 or 5 cases of this nature. And now we got a caveat. We got digital currency. We got no ID, all done by some 25 stamped number code, whatever you come up with, who knows. And now you can start an account, this and that, and then you get your money. And then, you know what? It's a terrible thing. So let's get ahead of this. Let's get every agency that we have. And I believe Donald J. Trump, our president, said, you're going to get everything in this. And that's why, thank God, he's our president. Because I know if I'm thinking that, if I know I'm in this chair sitting in, that man's 40 times ahead of me. He's light years ahead, and he is going to be for the side of safety. So don't worry about them cartoons and everything else like that. Cartoons, there's comedy, whatever. We're in a larger game here, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. We are in a larger ball game here. You want to talk about Super Bowl Sunday? Super Bowl Sunday, okay, is one thing. We're in
we started off Super Bowl Sunday.
We did, but we're in a game of our lives to save lives, to get ahead of the evil people, to be able to say, boom, you're done. Your evilness is gone. The law said it. Now you get whipped, shot, hung, whatever, but you're out of here. Done. That's what we got to get back to. And I'm dead serious, and I'm not joking. We got to do this collectively as a society, and I'll help lead it, pal. Don't worry about that. Hey, you want to get a political campaign going? Well, I don't know if I can do that, but time and energy. But 31 Strong is going to be about support law enforcement. I'm telling you that right now. 31's all about backing up and supporting law-abiding citizens, making their causes for American causes. And this is one of my things. I am a safety guy by profession. I've been safety my entire life. I think that's why I reached 66 years old, because I safely did things that maybe I shouldn't have done, but I safely did it. Now in my life, I safely do the right things. And I'm telling you right now, we got to make a difference, SB1. We got to make a difference with our voices.
The thing is,
at this point in time of history. Well, thank you for that, Biggs. Thank you. I got that out. I got that all out. That poor family, my heart, man, I swear that poor family, it's just insane that they got to go through this.
Well,
all families, just not that family, all families that don't get the,
I was going to say,
that don't get the coverage and don't get the media. I'm with you.
I mean, there's
You're
a lot
right.
there.
There's a lot there. I agree. But let's face it, her daughter's in broadcast and a multi-millionaire, and everybody's going after her. And then it's a new world here. And this is what we're saying. We got to rally behind this and put our thoughts and processes together to stop this. Now, speaking of a safety man, I can't believe I just seen this. And we're not doing anything illegal. Let's just get that out of the way, just in case somebody goes in there and gets a slice. How could I saw that in front of me for an hour and a half and just react now? Let me take my glasses off. Oh, man.
You know,
we got a lot of passion on this show, SB1. There's a lot of passion, bro.
I hear you.
I just wish we could be crusaders, bro, and help these people, man. All we want to do is see people make great lives.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of, through a lot of my communications with a lot of people, I see and hear a lot of passion on a lot of things. And there comes a time when I sit back and I go, you know how you help people? By helping one person.
Absolutely.
One person.
That's right.
You make a change.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
And that person will help another person.
Absolutely.
So when you're out there and you're trying to save the world, you save the world by talking to the first person in front of you.
Hell yeah.
And you say, okay, well, I mean, because look, there's, like I said, a lot of groups, a lot of people have a lot of passion. They have their own opinions. They have to do what people could be commenting on what we're talking about. And yeah, I'm not watching the YouTube channel, so I don't know what's going on. But, the thing of it is that this is always going to be a cat and mouse game.
Oh yeah,
because people want to challenge. They're going to challenge you, and they're going to find different ways to get around you. What you have here in the Guthrie situation, and as we had throughout time with other people. Now, I certainly don't know if the daughter is a millionaire or a zillionaire or whatever. I don't know her economic status.
Well, you've been following the story too
closely.
I have not.
And
no.
I have. Right. And
I would have never known that if it was all I'm just saying is that
people who have money or
notoriety.
There you go. Good word. Great word. Notoriety are targets.
Absolutely.
Right?
Well, they're going to become bigger targets now because that's why I'm praying for law enforcement to crack this. These people get captured real quick. Their stuff gets shut down, exposed, everything.
Well, now I'm thinking that if they are being requested to pay in Bitcoin or any other kind of
Bitcoin.
Okay, Bitcoin.
They got the account already established.
Okay, so in order to transfer that funds to a Bitcoin account, wouldn't it make sense that the Guthries have to have that number to put the money in?
Oh, the account's already established. They put the money in. They put it in an account. That's all they know is the account.
Okay,
it's digital currency. It's an account.
I get that.
Yeah,
but
you're getting into the account owners, which can never be.
If you lose the code, you lose the code.
Well, we're not even talking about that. You just can't. You just can't even. Have who's on the ledger. See, that's where you get into all that mining. Everybody dies. Look, it's a strange
world.
Thing. It's a strange. Look, the guy that invented Bitcoin, he's walking away with all your money. With that code, he's just waiting for you not to forget your code. So, how many coins did he get right now? Over 200 million, 200 coins.
I have no idea.
I think so far there's 200 lost coins. And now those coins, I don't know what they're valued at. Each, I think it's 100,000+.
Well, sure.
And then you got, you got all that, and so you got that money. So I guess you're chomping at the bit because the guy that does that, you're not telling me he can't oversee the whole entire ledger. Now that's the guy. That's very interesting. You bring up a great point right here. So they're using Bitcoin. So now if the owner of Bitcoin is still alive, who nobody knows his name. He's totally disclosed. No, there's been numerous people. Maybe if that guy is coming into the play and then opens up the oversight and drill down, count, set up, camera, Bitcoin stations, whatever, ledgers, then you drill down to that. I don't know, baby. We might have just opened a major door. That's serious. I just thought of that.
That guy would never. Who is
he? I don't know. Is he alive? Is it a guy? Is it a machine? It could be a machine. Who knows? That's running now. Naturally, somebody has to set the machine up. But I'm just saying,
it will take an incredible amount of time and energy to get through that situation because no one's going to give that up. Maybe that's what
Trump was talking about, Air Force One, that we should know something pretty soon because he's up in the sky and now maybe they got in contact. Who knows? Maybe that guy disclosed himself and they're going to drill down on that account and they're going to pop him at the Bitcoin station. We might have just cracked the crime, baby. I'm serious.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't even know where I'm coming up with these words or thought at right now. Could it have been the morning cannabis?
Yeah.
Oh, no. It said his friends are brain with. I don't know. I'm just drinking coffee. But in all seriousness, that really somebody in Bitcoin maybe has oversight could step up and help crack this case with this digital camouflage that is out there. And we got to, it's one thing to be camoed in the woods, and when you got a digital footprint, you got to do things a lot differently, and you got to look at things a lot differently. Not that I know anything about digital technology. I you know, like I said, I got involved a little bit with electronics and electricity. I'm not an expert by any means, but I do know one thing. You can amplify anything from any type of thing that's recorded or captured. And hopefully that can help too to crack that case. So let's just hope and pray that Miss Nancy rejoins her family and they're all on Good Morning America.
I don't
the morning
know.
talk show. I don't know, man. Look, that's how. Sorry
NBC,
about that. It's Savannah's talk show, and Jenna, you know, George Bush's Mrs. Bush's granddaughter or daughter. Excuse me, daughter.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Yeah, that host that, and the morning show, I believe. So let's just hope and pray that's all happening. She's got her wine glass right back with them, and we're all toasting wine back with them. That's my hope and pray for Miss Nancy, the family, and all the other people that are out there missing children, missing adults, whatever, man. Like I said, it's an evil world out there. You know, you go in the post office, you see all these pictures and things hanging up, and you know what all Mike Walsh, went through, and thank God he started his show. You know.
Oh, missing kids.
Yeah. Back in the 80s, late 90s, I guess.
He brought it back. He's bringing it back.
Oh, he brought that back. Yeah, but he, you know, like I said, man, he was a visionary. He lost some, and then he was using his talents and everything to stop this for other people or solve missing kids and all that. So, you know, this is something new. And as our country always responds with something new, we'll have an answer. I am very confident we have an answer for everything at every right point in time.
It'll be technology based.
It'll be technology based
to get that done.
And you got to be happy that there's a lot of agencies that protect a lot more of that goes around, because everybody wants to knock things down, take over power grids.
FBI, CIA, NSA. all of those agencies,
they're all working together, and I'm going to tell you something right now. It's we need them more now than ever, and we need them satellites. We need those spy. Hey, what did the mob do? The mob, you learn from the mob. What did they do? As soon as they put in their casinos, they put what? Eyes in the sky, cameras over the tables.
Sure.
Right, because it was all cash. You get your cash in, throw your cash, get your chips, and then now we got to watch everybody. So they introduced the eye in the sky. Right, well, they were smart. Now, okay, we got a big sky. Now we ain't got gaming tables. Now we got Earth. And now it's time to turn it on, baby.
Well, true.
Sure.
It's going to have to be totally surveillance, and all that stuff.
Who can afford? You can't afford a private bodyguard. I can't afford one.
No.
But collectively as a society, we can make sure. And I applaud those churchgoers in church out there in Tucson, Arizona, where, Miss Nancy didn't show up, and right away, they knew something was wrong because she was healthy. She probably tells her friends her schedule, and then they responded, instantaneously. And here we are today. So that's the current event that I've been glued to all week, just like probably everybody else. I got a little bit more time. Get up early in the morning and I watch TV early in the morning, the news. So, it's just it's intriguing. In this scenario, and we just want the best outcome.
Yeah, that's it. We want the best outcome for everything, including the Smash Brothers, because this one's getting hungry, and I want to get
are you kidding me? My stomach's growling, and I'm getting a little hangry because I'm going to get a little bit more passionate. So
yeah, I know.
Let's not talk about because that heater might be true. The TV here, sure. Oh, but we'll smash TV.
I think that's going to be the key. When I start seeing all that come out of you, I'm going to say he's getting hungry. He needs a cheesesteak.
Well, that's my passion. And
I know it is. I know.
Coupled with being hungry, then you get something else. You get a little explosion. you get passion on steroids. But we all care. We this is what I'm saying in Smash Bros.
Action.
We were You know, the music that we listen to, our lives, what we believe in, how we do things. We're just soulful, spiritual people.
Our lives were more simple.
That love people and want the good for people.
And there was a lot more integrity, probably a lot more innocence. And the generations before us had the same thing. So every generation that comes up has to deal with different levels of, you know, how we advance as a society. Unfortunately, my belief is that when it's a Pandora box that opened up with the internet, and for all the good that it does, it creates these evil scenarios.
It's true.
You know, the internet being developed by the Army. That's where it came from. So it was a government program, and the government let it go. You know, it proved the technology, what it can do. And from that point on, it brought us frequent, just radio signals, right? Communications. It brought everybody into the conversation. And now you just don't have just bringing audio in. You've got visual, you've got easy ways to produce a message that could be false, right? So false narratives create false emotions.
War games.
That does everything. I mean,
well, no, the movie War Games. You just educated me again. I never knew the Army invented the internet, but guess what? War Games. What was that scenario? Who was in charge of it? It was all in the Army's control against Russia in that computer game.
A lot of the technology that you see is started by our government. Okay.
Oh, and
you're
absolutely.
Right. It's because what is absolutely. It? What are they trying to do? Right. There's always the advancement of us as a society, but more importantly, like us as a human species.
Well, it was always the Navy that I was very impressed that. I'm very surprised. I should say I never knew the Army.
That was the Army. Yeah,
that's wild. Now
I forget the scientist's name, but it was started in one of the Army. It was room to room. It was just like Edison and the phone. You know, hey Watson, you know, can I talk to you through this string? Right. Well, it was a communication between one office computer and another, and it was a series of codes. And I can't remember what the first message was, but it proved that everything could be done, and it just advanced from there. And now what we have today, and it's even getting more intense. But the more voices you bring into a conversation, what happens? Nobody hears anything. Or they key on a certain thing. So with that said, people develop different ideologies, different opinions, and all of a sudden, it's the people who don't say anything are the ones that it leaves a void, and that void becomes filled with people who are wacky. I mean, you know, the difference of opinion, the Greek, there's all kinds of things.
Yeah, hence the wacko law.
Yeah, but I mean,
when you do diabolical things.
Well, yeah, you know, we say so. I don't know how to explain this the right way, but I've experienced it so many times. Is that the more junk that you get into, or the more the junk that's out there, the people with sane ideas stay out on the sidelines because they say, I just can't get into that. You know what I mean? It's so different. I think that we'll have a solution to what you've discussed, what we've discussed here, so that, you know, we avoid these problems. And I do think that total 100% surveillance is probably what's going to cure everything. But that comes into privacy laws and how much do you want, like the people who give up their DNA sample and send it to 21andMe or whatever they call those places, or Ancestor.com.
Right.
Read the fine print, and you have given up every piece of your person. You know,
they got your DNA, baby.
They got your DNA.
That's sacred ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why you ain't
One
good
day,
enough to hear a story from your grandmother, your mother, and go back to the country where you're from. I don't know why they got to know.
Who's to say that your DNA goes out and they create another you somewhere around. You don't know what's going to happen to your DNA.
Bingo. Wasn't it in Jurassic Park where they took that frozen mosquito or that bit that dinosaur, extracted the DNA?
Yeah.
And they made it die. But I'm just saying.
I know, but they've done that with the wolves. Remember that they've got the
Jurassic Park.
Well, in real life, they have the wolves. That was a big thing last year.
Oh yeah,
they made the gray wolf, and they make dogs. People have DNA copies of other things. So it's all kind of crazy shit.
Well, technically, you can clone yourself if you have the right way from your DNA. Absolutely. You can bring up a good point. Brother, look, I'm good with my grandparents' stories and this story and that story. They didn't get my DNA to know that I got some part of from Sicily or some part of Northern Africa or some part of somewhere. I don't need to know all. I don't want to know.
No, I don't want
anybody to have my DNA. No, dude. I'm hoping whatever God gave me, I leave this earth with it. That's all. And nobody's had my DNA.
Except maybe the kids.
Well, excuse me, ancestry.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Look, I'm here now. I'm not there back there, right? Family may have originated from where they are, but you know what?
We're here now.
We're here.
So, Smash Brother, we think a total alike on that, and that's the first time we ever shared that. To be honest with you.
On what?
This conversation. You didn't. You never did ancestry.
No.
That same way. I never did it.
I won't do it.
And now we have the same viewpoint on why we didn't do it.
Right.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not giving up my DNA.
Oh, no.
I mean, I probably have somewhere online, I guess, but not knowingly or not.
Nobody's going to be testing our DNA because we're not going to be involved in any crime scene. So, so we got our DNA because we're not going to go out and
they got my fingerprints.
I've been fingerprinted, sure. ID check because I've been on some different jobs where that required, and stuff like that. So, and being be involved in, volunteer work and stuff. You got to be fingerprinted these days.
Sure do.
Yeah. And,
that's fingerprint.
Background checks and stuff like that.
So, speaking of that, I just went through the airport and now the TSA, I think I did sign up for this. I know that facial recognition, you just walk through and that knows.
There you go. See that? That's supporting evidence to what you were just saying.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that. Go
maybe 30 years from now, 40 years from now, maybe say 60 years from now, somebody picks up this podcast and they see these two guys on Super Bowl Sunday, February, what's the day, 8th? February 8th, 2026. And they're going to be going, oh my God, look what these guys were saying back then.
Right.
Those will have all that. Can you imagine us? We're celebrating 250. Look where we're at now. Think about the next 250. What are you going to have? Spaceships? Flying cars?
Probably. They shouldn't be called cars, but here's the one thing that's scary.
Jetsonmobiles?
Suppose that things get so wacky, so crazy, that you are required to have a chip in you 3 days after birth.
Well, we did something like that with the kids, but it wasn't with a chip. It was in a national program, and we certainly did that, and it was with a footprint.
A footprint.
But a digital chip technology for that is out there.
I believe it is.
You can get that put into your dog, pets, and stuff
I know,
like that.
But this chip will actually be an indicator of of everything about you. And they're already putting chips in brains so that you could, record and live again, I suppose. I mean, this is Elon Musk and his companies, but these are the kind of crazy that I say it's crazy, but it could save a life or it could change a life. But that technology comes down to, well, it's going to be mandatory, to have this implanted into you, so that you become. There's a show. There was a show on that one.
Yeah, science fiction is crazy, man. When it comes,
I don't know if it's science fiction anymore.
No, that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. It was science fiction.
Yeah.
The chips the waving. Remember, Dr. McCoy waved something on you, tell you everything about you.
Yeah, that's
well, you
true.
got that today.
Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah, you got that today. You got chips. You got
That's
chips.
true.
Chips were
chips. Potato chips. I'm hungry.
Let's get something to eat. Steaks and chips. Hey, look, my advice out there today on the Super Bowl Sunday: more BTV and peace and love.
Hey, bud. Hey, thank you, man. Welcome and thank you for hanging out with us for 2 hours and about 15 minutes. But this is
a little shorter than last year. A little shorter. Last year we rolled 3.5.
We did, but we had some
libations, snacks.
We had a couple of stimulants there with the bourbons and the beers and a little bit of snacks here and there.
She brought us out cheese and crackers, I thought.
I think she did. We'll have to go back and roll the tape.
Yeah, she did something, but we had some Michelob Ultras.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I think I already know what my favorite commercial is going to be. So
which one?
It's going to be the Budweiser with the horse, the eagle, and Free Bird, Ronnie Van Zant, the fall members of Leonard Skinner, Billy Powell, Alan Collins.
Well, next
Gary Rossington, artist Pyle. We all miss you, man.
Next week when we do another show.
Artemis.
Here's what we're going.
Excuse me.
The next show, we're going to do this. We're going to compare. No, number one, who you picking? You said Seattle.
Seattle.
All right, I'm going to go with the Pats.
All right.
I'll go with Pats. That's one challenge. The second challenge is who's going to have a better halftime show, Bad Bunny or Kid Rock?
You know where I'm at.
I know where you're at. I know.
Yeah, I know, Kid. I'll be honest with you. I'm so far removed from everything.
The All-American halftime show.
I heard about Bad Bunny. I know nothing about Bad Bunny. Don't know anything about Bad Bunny. Kid Rock, first I heard that he's playing halftime. I did not know that.
No? Okay, it's a Kid Rock All-American show.
That's awesome. Well, when Al Melise and I were down there at Jacksonville for the Eagles Pats game 2006, guess who we had warming up? Charlie Daniels Band. Let's give it up for CDB. Rest in peace, Charlie. And Paul McCarthy was the halftime gig.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? And we had a satellite radio because
it's gonna be our next topic next week. Winners, losers.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Football music.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
I think my prediction is Bad Bunny is gonna win.
What is Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny he's an American-born singer, right? I mean, he's a U.S. citizen.
Okay,
but he's international, and he's a decent kid. He's a decent guy.
I know they had some lookalike contests out in California or something. And the guys that he looked just like
his music is
that won the contest.
His music is international, so he's got it's a lot in Spanish, right? You know, it's world music in a sense, but he's got some good funky beats to it. A little bit of rap. I don't know how else to put it. I could listen to it, right? I may not be my favorite. I don't have his albums or anything yet, but I've heard of him and I've seen him on a couple of shows. I think it was a Saturday Night Live. Good showman. Just decent, you know. It's the Apple halftime show. He is the number one artist in the world.
It's Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny.
Yeah. See, that's so far
he's
removed.
He's done Corona commercials.
I have no idea, man.
Him and Snoop have done shows.
So
that's okay. I mean, but this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
You know,
and I can't wait. I'm excited now.
Well, you know, President Trump comes up and says, "Hey, we're going to have a competing thing because I don't like what's going on with the Bad Bunny and the Apple show and all that stuff." And so they hired Kid Rock and a bunch of other ones, but they had a.
So that's where that controversy came from.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? No. I sort of got, man. Well,
see, I think this is what we're going to save it for next week. But
yeah, all right.
This is where I think that. Look, I'm all about the American policy, right?
Right.
We need the Western Hemisphere to be protected. I'm all for it.
I know you love this country. You served this great country.
I did, but I have to be honest that the petty bullshit and dividing us to divide musically, I mean, to get down to that, it doesn't make things better. It really causes more of an issue than, look, man, stick to the policy, do what you need to do. That fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to read up a little bit more on this so I can be educated. I did, and then let's not forget we saw Kevin Kelso Kevin Kelly, a legend in this town, this great area. He was a city councilman for many years, did many great things, ran for mayor. Just a good old Wilmingtonian that I've known since single digit days, years, and he wants to get on the Smash Brothers.
Oh, he'll be on.
He wants to get on SmashCast.
We'll get Kelso.
Kelso, if you're listening, pal, just wanted to close that out as well.
He could be listening. He could be listening.
You know,
he's shaking his head.
Hey, let me tell you something. He goes back to Mike Walsh, who was the county sheriff, and Hutch, who's no longer with us, Viceroy. Up in heaven, and they used to do the Delaware Park horse racing analysis on Rollins Cablevision.
Yeah, they did.
Remember that, man?
Oh, yeah.
And that was so cool. And me and my dad would watch that show because my dad loved the ponies. My Uncle Mike loved the ponies. I like the horses.
My grandmother loved the ponies.
Why not, man? Delaware Park, baby.
That's the thing that was going on.
Couple $2 total, and then you're on. You win some money. Hey, everybody likes to win a few bucks. So he can talk about all that, his experiences with rooting for the Celtics. He's a huge
he's a Raiders fan.
Raiders! Are you kidding me? He was black and silver since I've been 10 years old.
I think he's diminished that one because they're in Vegas and they're really not doing well. They're not great.
But he sticks to it. Fred McLiff, Daryl Monica. He used to tell them. He has a voice. He's another guy. He should get. Now he's retiring or anything. He should get into radio broadcast because he has
I got a spot for him.
I'll tell you something right now. Kelso, I'm putting out a plug for you there, baby.
Kelso, come on to the 302.
Come on in, Kelso. Come on in. Kelso. Come on. Get in the mix, baby. Get in the mix.
All right, well, let's wrap this up, man.
Does he play golf? I don't know if he plays golf.
He doesn't play golf.
He shoots hoops, though. He shoots hoops.
He does shoot hoops.
Yeah, he was a hell of a player, man.
All right. Well, we're signing off here on the Smash Brothers podcast. This has been an extended version, a Super Bowl extended version.
It's 2 years in a row, baby.
2 years in a row. All right. So next week we've got our challenge up. Who wins the Super Bowl, and then Bad Bunny versus Kid Rock.
We got a little lunch on that. Straight up bet.
We get straight up lunch.
Straight up lunch. Straight up bet. I got the Hawks. You got the Pats.
I got the Pats.
And speaking of lunch, we got to get something.
We got to go. Right. We got to go. All right.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista. Hasta la vista.
See you later.
Spanish.
See you later.
I know.
Yeah.
You're Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Let's go. See that? Hey, like I said, man, I can't wait. I won't be up in my room during halftime show. I will tell you that.
Okay. All right. We got you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.